Hello, everybody. If it's Wednesday, it's Warhammer, and that must mean it's time for another episode of Warhammer Weekly. Today, it's time for some blood for the Blood God and some skulls for the Skull Throne. That's right. And joining me, he's back on the show, our good buddy Dino. What's going on, buddy? How you doing?
Hello, hello, hello. All is well. I'm reporting directly from Akshi here in the peninsula of in Greece, where it's 111 degrees, as you would say,
Yes.
because I calculated 44 degrees is 111, which sounds like something we would say when we want to say it's really warm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
It's lovely to be back.
I mean, sounds wonderful to me. Sounds beautiful. I mean, do you have a good wind? Is there a good breeze? How about that?
It's extremely fiery breeze, but right now I do have an air conditioning staring directly at me. So
Oh, well, that's good. There you go. Okay.
I'm good with that.
Now, as to the early show, we've got a little lunchtime show today to do this because my wife and I, it's going to be 2 weeks of early shows, by the by, just to get everybody ready for both Khorne and KO because of various and sundry commitments. I have my wife and I are going somewhere, and then next week is Gen Con. So, boy, oh boy, it's just going to be a crazy couple weeks. So, thanks for sticking with us. So, at any rate, we're going to talk about Khorne today. This is going to be, we're going to keep the show tight, but you know, we'll get through it. There's a lot to discuss here. I'm excited about this. Dino, are you excited about Khorne in general? This new book?
I'm excited for the last 20 minutes of this show. I'm actually very happy to talk about the book. It's actually, like you said, 2 hours should be more than enough because there's not that much to talk about, but there are a few things that I want to touch on. So
That's right. But of course, first, we got to get into just a little bit of news. We're going to do some abridged sections today, but there is one important thing to talk about, and why that is the big summer preview that happened on Friday. And while most of it I couldn't care less about, they talked about a couple of upcoming books we already knew was going to be there. And they talked a little bit about some new Underworlds thing full of weird little centaur people. That's all fine. Like, my response to all of that is,
yeah,
great. But of course, we can't leave behind the biggest news. This does deserve a deep dive, and that is the return of Chaos Dwarves to the Age of Sigmar, teased for a long time now. We had their little goblin idiots showing up in other people's armies, and now we have the Hellsmiths of Hashut themselves, or just Chaos Dwarves, as they will be called, I'm sure by everybody. And so here we go. We've got them. This is the initial launch box set. It's got a little cannony thing. You can build it to be a little launchy thing as well. It's got the little golem-y thing, who is cool. He's the coolest thing in the army, is the golem-y thing.
Yep.
And then you've got, you know, little Chaos Dwarf people. That's fine. I'm just going to jump through all this stuff real quick. Yeah, you got like the War Despot, stuff like that. That's fine. Here he is. Here's that little guy. Look at him. Don't know what's going on here with his beard, with all the gems. They feel, boy, they've got some stuff going on. That's for sure. And here's the little launcher thing. I grabbed the alternative since we could see the other one. This is the launcher with the little missiles. By the way, the number of rumor engines that were solved in the big preview is very funny. There was only like 8 left after this.
7, in fact, because one of them probably gone forever.
There you go. Rip. Yes, that is true. Yes, one of them is just. I still think they're going to sneak that out in some future release as something else. They're just going to repurpose that model.
Yeah, makes sense.
But yes, I think one of them is obviously the old canceled incarnate. So you got the missile launcher here, which is fun. I like that. Then here's a little zoom in on Mr. Flamey Guy. He can be built for melee or for shooty, so that's fine. With his little fire head. So he's cool.
Yeah.
We have the Bull Centaurs, of course, their updated version. And then we can't leave behind the PlayStation 2 low polygon count commanders on the angular bulls.
Yeah.
There's 2 different versions of this guy. So here's one, and here's the other. Okay. And obviously he can be holding a little flaming rock, or there's lots of different, you can see all the little optional pieces here of him holding the flaming rock versus the staff, and the bull can have the little, you know, the gem can be hot and smoking as opposed to just a gem, whichever you like. Which, hey, I like it. It's nice. Thank you for leaving off. Thank you for turning on. Like, I can make this guy with no air, so I don't have to paint any air because I can use the stick
Sure.
and the normal gem, not painting any air. Appreciate that.
Mhm.
So Dino, what'd you think about the Chaos Dwarf release overall?
I was whelmed.
I think that's very accurate.
Being very into the point, I will keep it short. People who like Chaos Dwarves seem to like them.
Yep.
Nice, cool, very nice. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm really good at painting OSL, so just send them over. Tell me what color you want. I have quite a couple of people already said, "Can you do the lava bases to these guys?" I'm like, "Sure." Just tell me what color you want them.
Sure.
Other than that, they look nice. Looking forward to seeing them from across the board.
I agree. I like my read on it. I think whelmed is perfect. Like it feels very much like the old Chaos Dwarf army updated. You know, you have the new shooters on the ground, you have the new melee guys on the ground, you have updated sort of bull centaurs in two different versions. You have the various like the simple artillery pieces. You don't have any of the really crazy stuff, but you got the simple artillery pieces. You got the big construct, who I do think is like the coolest thing. This guy, the big golem dude. Where's he at? There he
When
is.
it
I
comes
think he's the
to
coolest one.
mechanics, army mechanics, they didn't half-ass it. They weren't like, all right, here's the cav, here's the infantry, here's the shooters, double builds, different
Yep,
alternate builds on always nice, always a good idea.
I agree.
And yeah, they did not go like, let's give them half an army now. Feels like an actual
Feels like an
full
actual
army.
launch. Yes, like we've
Yeah.
got enough units to cover the board. Two different cav units, different melee, foot units. We've got different. You got your heavy type of infantry, larger, pseudo monsters. You've got multiple artillery pieces. Like yes, it feels like a full army, I guess. Yeah, which is nice. That's good. And yes, of course, we can't forget the little Hopgrot guys. Of course, yes.
Which I
Uh,
love the fact that people in the Cruel Boys chat rooms were not very happy about. They feel like, why are they taking Hopgrats away from us? Which I find hilarious.
That is very funny since the whole thing
Where
was
do you
originally
start
the
with
whole
that?
statement was that they're on loan effectively from the Chaos Dwarves.
Yeah,
Like,
that's nice.
yeah.
But yeah,
Um, so all in all, like cool stuff. It doesn't appeal to me at all. But if the Chaos Dwarf people who've been asking for this are happy because they got basically an updated, modernized version of a resculpt of their army that's almost one to one, like frankly, if you had an old Chaos Dwarf army, you probably are good
just
to go for a lot of this stuff. You'll pick some of the new things up because they're cool, right?
yeah.
But for the most part, you're like if you've got old bull centaurs, you probably can just use these existing bull centaur or use the existing ones and put them on the right base and feel good about that, right?
Mhm.
But for me, they didn't go wild enough. Like I needed this to be crazy. Like for me to get interested, it would have need. Here's what I'll say: this is just the updated cast orbs. It's more. It's not 1 to 1, but it's pretty close. It's like 1.1 to 1, right? Modern,
Yeah.
clean, looks good, sculpts are great, all of that kind of stuff. No, none of that is an issue. But it's more or less like the same thing. What
Yeah.
I would have needed to get interested in it, for me personally, is it would have needed to be like what LRL are to high elves, right?
Right.
Where we like really went in
What
like a
was
bold,
left
crazy
on the floor?
direction. Yeah.
We went wave one. No, show us what was left on the floor. What was cut off, and show us wave two. Go a bit deeper, maybe. So until then,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
These felt like a little more safe. Again, I'm not complaining about it. If the Chaos Dwarf people are happy and people think these are cool, then I am happy. Not everything needs to
Yeah.
be for me, right? That's what it comes down to.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, overall, cool stuff. I hope to see that box, soon. We got obviously a lot of releases coming out, so that's right. They would have needed hats on hats. Correct. We needed more hats. No, like I just
Props,
wanted
not
to see
props,
like
but, for some.
I wanted to see like new crazy machines of war and stuff like that. I wanted to see something that's really off the deep end. But again, it's fine. It doesn't need to be for me. I don't know if that would have been as successful or not. But all in
You
all,
would
cool
have
release.
complained that it's not Skaven.
What's
So
that?
you would have complained that it isn't Skaven. Why did
That's
the
correct.
Dwarves take this and not us?
Yeah, where's our cool artillery trains? Why are we still using wood? This is
Mhm.
ridiculous. So that's fine.
Yeah.
I think that they're like, we got a lot of kits, we got a lot of dual kits, a lot of builds here. Every role seems filled. Multiple foot heroes, big heroes on
That's
monsters, machines, infantry, heavy infantry, cavalry, everything you want. Like an army,
oh
like
yeah.
a real army.
Mhm.
That's nice. That's cool.
We'll see
Um,
the factions reign in the Mannies at some point, I guess.
yeah. It's nice to know that, 10 years into it, we can still get some wholly new armies. I want us to
Mhm.
always have the ability in AOS to introduce whole new armies. I don't want it to feel really static. Like a new army in 40K just feels like completely insane and rare. It's so that it happens, right?
True.
It's like a
True.
once a generation thing. I'd like ours to be once an edition at minimum. So there you go.
Yep.
Yes, Praetor, we made the same joke. The bulls, the Tauruses look like PlayStation 2 graphics, right? Like low poly count bulls. Yes. But at any rate, okay, cool. Anything else you have to say on Chaos Dwarves?
No, they're nice. They're cool. Cool story. Good
Yeah,
to see them.
there we go. Yes, this is an early show. So thanks everybody for piling in. As we're transitioning over to Khorne and celebrating some blood for the blood god. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe. Don't forget super chats there. You can throw some money at the show. It's very helpful. Keeps everything running around here and is deeply appreciated. So thank you very much. Okay. This is Dino. JP's been on here before. Longtime Khorne enthusiast. So there you go. As well as many other
We have
armies. Dino, last time
we
you were
have
here
kind
was
of
for IDK. Yes.
yeah, and so yeah, blood on the water. Still, there's something there. There's something there.
Sure.
Me, Corn, and I, we kind of went our separate paths at some
Well, let's
point,
talk
but we
about that.
always
Let's flip over here to Khorne.
we'll discuss
Okay.
it. Yeah.
And like, yeah, talk a little bit about, I want you to talk a little bit about your journey with Khorne because you were like a huge Khorne enthusiast for a long time, right? And then you kind of
Oh yeah.
stepped away from them into other stuff.
Basically, first edition started the game with Corn, with the Corn books, and that was my first Age of Sigmar and slash Warhammer miniature war game experience. Starting with the Underworlds and Garrick's Reavers, and then going to the big box and playing Corn versus my brother who had the Stormcast. And I got into them, and then second edition rolled out, and their mechanics and the style they were playing had nothing to do with Corn, as we would I understand. If you would explain to someone who has nothing to do with the game what Corn is, they would not think that they're ballet dancers with
Right.
airbrushed abs on who are playing bubbles and bubbles and bubbles. But that style of game, the Johnny experience, as we've discussed before, felt like, yeah, I want to show that I can play this game in a different way than someone else. And that's what I've been doing. And Korn was probably the best choice for it. And chasing the dragon of a 5.0 with a second edition book way into second and third, and always falling on Thunder Lizards and going 4-1 up to the very last weekend of the second edition book when the third edition book was announced and finally going 5.0, the second one worldwide. I'm like, excellent. And then the third edition, the Murderlust book, let's call it that. The Murderlust book came out and took it the very next weekend and went 5.0 with it because it was a broken, overpowered book.
Right.
And Corn players rejoiced because we could not see that the flames were roaring towards us as well, because it kind of changed the whole experience. The Johnny experience turned into a Spike experience, and that took me to some other parts, because that's where I left the book when it became a gotcha NP full negative player experience for, well, basically both sides.
Right.
And denial is a powerful thing. I could say, no, it's good, it's fine, it's gonna be fine. It wasn't. So I kind of left Korn behind. I went into Idneth, the Johnny book, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
And now let's talk about this book, because It's not a Johnny book, and it's not a Spike book, I
No,
think.
that's right. So, yes, I did notice you, Jape. Just quick answer some things here. And then, so Ghost Mutton said, I hope they've shifted more towards Timmy with this book. Well, let's go to my summary here. Summary. Bullet point number one. This moved from being a Johnny focused book to a Timmy focused book. Like, period. I guess Johnny Spike probably was the previous one, really, to be fair.
Yeah.
Um, now we are a Timmy focused book. That is absolutely what is here. I think this is probably the truest representation of Khorne. Like if you explained how it works, well, that's how it works now. Both mortals and demons have some interesting options here, though I will say, for my money, I think demons got more interesting stuff, but your mileage may vary. I think both sides have some fun. This has one of the most fun Armies of Renown since we introduced the concept of Armies of Renown. In fact, it's so much fun, I'm quite sure they're going to change it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's not going to live
Spoilers.
in its current form. It's just too good.
Yeah.
It is both fun and too good. But this is my next army. I'll tell you what, I'm on board for this. I'm painting this army. Like, this Army of
You
Renown,
and a
I'm in
lot of
for.
other folks. You
Yeah,
and a lot of other folks out there.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And then we'll talk about it. Don't worry. The Blood Tithe has changed massively, but I think the new abilities are good and they give you some interesting flexibility. And overall, it's an interesting play pattern for the army because it starts weak, but actually gets considerably more powerful as the game goes on. There's certainly going to be a flashpoint where suddenly the army becomes like has real, suddenly has a lot of real power, and
Yeah.
you've got to you got to kind of balance when that point's going to get hit and what you still have available. So I've gotten one game against this new Khorne book, by the way. So I played my tournament Skaven list against this new Khorne book this last weekend. It was a really freaking good game. I ended up eking out the victory by basically 1 point at the end. So I mean, it was an extremely close game, and it felt very, very, very back and forth. This is a demon focused force I played against, just for interest. I'll talk about it more as we go through it, but overall, it was fun to play against. It felt like a really good matchup back and forth against the Skaven stuff. My number one thing with this book is the following. This book is the first one that I've looked at, really. The IDK pointed this way, but this is the first one that's fully there, where I looked at it and went, oh, okay, this is actually a new book. This is a new book.
It is a new book. Yeah.
And it makes me sad when you have to be one of the armies who got an early book. Like many of my armies got early books. That is to say, like Ironjaws and Skaven. And boy, is it sad comparatively, right, to what's going on here. So
I would think that Soulblight might have gotten a bit of that as well, but IDK certainly feel that there's a change. Like you change, like you're mixing colors.
right.
Suddenly, it's no longer the first color; it's the second color now.
That's right.
The question I had for this book was, who is this for? Who is this book for? Because it's not the early Khorne players, and it's not the most recent Khorne players. So it has had a sort of a whiplash effect to the current Khorne players. Because, as you said, it's a team book. It's a team book now. It's
Yep.
not Johnny. It's not Johnny Spike. It's definitely not Spike, although I see some people trying. And so I guess it's really a new experience. And that might actually make some people uncomfortable, feeling like this is no longer my army. This doesn't play the way I wanted to play. I was there earlier than that, like a year and a half ago. But I guess armies tend to have that.
Yeah.
It happens.
I mean, it happened to me with Slanesh, right? We went from like a Timmy focused book to something
Very
else that
much.
I wasn't interested in anymore. And the reality is that I think this is I have an actual simple answer for you. I think the answer is it's for Khorne lovers is what it comes down to. I think people who really love the concept of Khorne and like what it has to do and like its representation in the world, this feels like a more clear and clean representation of what Khorne is in the lore than we've seen recognized so far.
New players, definitely.
Right.
I remember you said that the previous Khorne book was closer to what Khorne should look like 5 steps ahead from the previous book. We have gone 5 more steps ahead.
That's right. We're getting there. My Iron Jaws are jealous of a lot of their capabilities. Let me say that much, because as the two
True.
like go punch and kill people armies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oops. So let's talk changes. That's probably a good place to start. Okay. As I'm marking my timestamps here. Okay. Let's talk changes. There's a lot of them. As always, this changelog comes to you courtesy of one Mr. AOS Coach. Thank you, AOS Coach, for all your hard work in making this presentation. The man is a PowerPoint machine, and God bless him for doing this and saving me the trouble of typing all this out. We will talk about a lot of these units still in the Warscroll review, so I'm not going to, like, the things we won't talk about are like, I don't care about the Skull Cannon. The Skull Cannon is the Skull Cannon out of the index. It's just burning skulls is damage too. You don't need me to reprint the Warscroll and talk about it because of that move. But some of these things that had like some really big changes, especially like the Walk, Bloodthirster, the Skull Taker, stuff like that, we will talk about them, okay, in more detail. So big focus is here on changes. Let's start with the demon side. Scarbrand, Blood Drench applies while this unit has 10 plus damage points. It's fine. He doesn't have War Master or Bloodthirster keywords. I don't know if that's intentional or not.
Just lost a couple of attacks. People are kind of miffed about that.
Yep.
So, yeah.
The Walk, Bloodthirster, or Wrath of Khorne. The Commander of Tyrants is now pick another visible, friendly, non-unique Blades of Khorne demon unit to be the target. And Wrathful Dominance, add 1 to hit rolls for this unit's attacks that target an enemy hero. So, which I think he's actually the interesting Bloodthirster. I like him. We'll talk about him. The Unfettered Fury, back in the hunt, your movement phase, plus for the rest of the turn, when making charge rolls for the target, roll 1 additional dice to a maximum of 3 and discard 1 of your dice. I'm going to talk about why I actually don't think this is as valuable anymore. Because of your new Murderlust. I'm seeing it in action, by the way. New Murderlust is absolutely fascinating in how powerful it is. Like, it reads pretty innocuous. It is, in fact, very good. Okay.
Replace value.
Yeah, we'll get to it. Don't worry. We'll get to it. Okay. Then, oh, we lost him. I think we lost him. He'll come back in a moment. That's fine. I'll keep talking about changes. Skull Taker. Skull Taker lost crit mortals plus the skulls for the Skull Throne ability, but he gained the Eternal Duel. And this is crazy. We're going to talk about Skull Taker a lot later on. The end of any turn, if an enemy hero had any damage points allocated to it by the unit's combat attacks this turn, and that hero was destroyed this turn, heal X, where X is the number of damage points this unit has. So he heals back to full. And then gain Drawn by Blood once per battle, end of enemy turn. Pick an enemy hero unit that used a fight ability this turn to be the target. Remove this unit from the battlefield and set it up again on the battlefield in combat with the target and not in combat with any other unit. An end of enemy turn teleport directly into combat. Okay. Skull Taker's going to have another look. We're going to talk about him. The Bloodmaster lost his crit mortal and went to crit 2 hits. It's fine. He's Ren 2, whatever. And if he does his thing, he basically can add 1 to, which is the chain activation. He can add 1 to hit for Bloodletters, which is not usually the biggest deal, but it's fine. Skull Cannon's now damage 2. Okay. Are you there, Dino? It looks like your camera's not starting. We'll figure it out. He'll figure it out. Don't worry. He has to probably just restart everything. It's all good. Bloodletters lost the Thinning Veil, which is their little, like, regenerate at the end of every turn, so they don't come back anymore. But they gain Ceaseless Violence any combat phase. If this unit is in combat, it can move 3 inches, it can pass through the combat ranges of enemy units, and it must end that move in combat. Holy crap, this is a good ability.
Amazing.
This is so strong. Okay. It's a pre-pile-in. It is we were joking about it, calling it the non-fight. I'm going to do my non-fight pre-combat tactical adjustment. And like what it lets you do is just nuts, right? Because you can pull out of combat with certain things, move into combat with certain things, right? Like you just have to stay in combat, but it really lets you adjust in some incredible ways. So Bloodletters, like I'm all in for them.
Yeah. Can you hear me? Sorry, we had a little.
Oh yeah, you're good. You're good, buddy. No issue at all.
It might happen.
It's
summer in Greece.
Yeah, it's fine. It was
But yeah,
literally no issue at all.
Bloodletters stocks are high. Stocks are high. Wrath of Khorne not choosing the Bloodthirster because the keyword's gone,
Right.
making it demons now. That the walk really helps them. And yeah, letters are high.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, I mean, like,
for letters.
you're absolutely right, Devin. Like, the abilities this thing can do, like, Ceaseless Violence is so good because it's any combat phase. Like, we'll talk about it. Bloodletters are on my list. I plan to go deep dive into them. Like, I haven't even started to cover all the things that can do. It's like such a crazy strong ability. It's also one of the more Johnny-ish things still in the book, and it's weird little like movement shenanigans. Okay,
Just to draw me in.
a little bit, yeah. The Herald of Khorne on Bloodthrone, the important part about him is that he can like damage a thing and then become power level 2. He's a skip. Blood Crushers, actually, I really like their new ability. They finally actually have a purpose, I think. They have this little crushing onslaught thing where they can pass through units. Again, we will talk about them. Karnak and his Fleshhounds are really interesting. The Fleshhounds are great at making magic be very painful because of the way that they change miscast around.
But add something there, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
I see it's not on the actual PDF. Karnak is great. Fleshhounds are actually quite good now, which makes Claws of Karnak really good, because here's the thing. They're not here because they haven't changed. They have crits on 5-ups now. We have crit mortals. This is the only unit in the whole game that has crit mortals on 5s now, 5s and 6s, which means 24 attacks makes 8 mortal wounds. Suddenly, those things that can get up to 32 or 40 attacks can go wham on a 2-up save or a 3-up save, or you don't even care. Suddenly, those idiots are dealing 8 and 10 and 12 mortal wounds, and you're like, what just happened?
Right.
Why are they critting on 5? Because
I will say this is the
or
first unit I obliterated off the board, by the way. Like, the simple answer was douse them, and we just like, nope, shoot these guys. They're dead. Get rid of them. Do not want that. Yeah.
Fair enough, but still, just keep them on obscuring. What's the matter with you?
There was no option for that in the game we were playing on, given where he sort of had to set up. We played a very fun, interesting game. We played the one where you're set up completely on the right side. You know what I'm talking about? It's like the 3 objectives across the middle. I can never remember the names.
But Nexus.
There you go. Noxious Nexus, yes. And the deployment's completely on the right side. So he had very limited like obscuring choices, right? So at any rate.
It's a nice one. Yeah.
And then Karnak in your movement phase can teleport him and his Fleshhounds anywhere, basically. Which is really good.
4-up charge, because they get +2 to charge.
Yeah.
Outside of 6. Okay, cool.
So pretty good. So Karnak and the Fleshhounds, the dogs are good. Again, thank you, AOS Coach. Do make sure to go subscribe to Coach. Go watch him. Thank you, Coach, for doing all of this. So that's the demon side. Pick of the week. That's right. Yeah. That's we don't need a pick of the week. We've got AOS Coach. He's got everything you need. Okay. Also here is, let's move to the mortal side. Less changes on the mortal side, honestly. A lot of like little minor adjustments. The demons had some big changes. The mortal side was mostly just some small tweaks, some of which are impactful. We'll talk about some of them. The Mighty Lord of Khorne, the Lord of the Bloodbound, is now +1 to wound rolls instead of +1 to charge rolls for Bloodbound infantry. And the Bring Me Their Skull is Bloodbound infantry heroes. Like, he points at that another hero and says, go do this thing, which is fun for the Army of Renown, as we'll talk about. The Korgorath is stupid. Right, next. The Realmgore Ritualist went from being +1 to hit, which was like crazy strong, especially in this current edition, to +1 to wound, which is still good, but very different.
Huge buff, though. It's like a 32-inch buff or something, because it goes 12 and 12 outside of a mountain or a forest, whatever you got. So,
still good. Still good. Like, +1 to wound is great. Nothing wrong with it at all. It's just like the +1 to hits ability in the current edition was like so valuable. You do have a decent number of 4s hiding around the army in various places. So, you know, that +1 hit was good. But again, +1 to wound is still good. Skull Grinder. He has his little bone crushing strikes once per turn army. You pick an enemy unit in combat with this unit to be the target and roll a dice. If the roll is equal to or less than the target's control score, that target has strike last for the rest of the turn. Very good. There's actually quite a decent amount of strike first and strike last play in this book, which is very valuable. The Slaughter Priest is pick a unit, friendly or enemy, within the combat range to be the target, and on a 2-up, they take that appropriate mortal damage, and you gain a ritual point. Or they gain a ritual
no
point.
longer a blood type because blood has changed, so it's now
That's
a
right.
ritual point, which I don't mind. Actually, I'm okay with.
Yep. Yes. The Blood Warriors, their melee profile merged to just be gore weapons, 3 attacks, 4-up, 3-up, 1 rend, 1 damage, crit, auto wound. So fine. But importantly, they get a 5-up ward if they're contesting an objective you don't control. This makes them actually really, really strong sort of objective takers to go in and then fight second, which is important because you're like probably trying to engage across the board. Blood Warriors are very, very tough. Like, no doubt about it.
100%. By the way, Martin Orlando says that Lumineth actually do have crit mortals on 5s. I didn't think about them because I don't think about them. So
that is fair. Yes, they still have it. They still have their crit mortals on 5s. And yet somehow still they're fragile as all get out. There you go. Skull Reapers, the Demon Forged weapons now crit 2 hits.
Yeah, instead of crit mortals, because
right.
crit mortals is now a battle trait. And
right.
they lost the stupid, their beasts, if they are not fighting, they have control score 1, which was, what are you thinking? Why is this? There's still things that Khorne gets damage from their own battle traits, or you do that and you get damage yourselves, which is why I don't like that part. That makes me angry, which I guess that's the point. But yeah, they removed that stupid. There was no reason for it.
Yeah, it's gone now. They just get a big control score bump if they're in combat, which is fine. Yeah. But yes, crit 2 hits base. As I said, like you start weaker, but you're going to gain over the course of the game.
Yeah.
Skull Crushers, just like Blood Crushers, you're now moved 10 instead of 8, which is very valuable, by the way. But although I think Skull Crushers are a miss, I actually like Blood Crushers better now. So whatever, that's fine.
Yeah, pour one out for the Lord on Juggernaut. That is gone. He went to take his place. His skull went to take his place in the Mountain of Khorne. Because he's now gone. Yeah.
Yep.
That 2+ save did not save him.
It did not save him. That's right. Unfortunate. Okay. The Wrathmongers. Were you excited to see this? I was excited to see this. Okay. Yes. Blood Fury. We're so back, baby. Once per turn army, end of any turn, pick a visible. Now this is end of turn. So these fragile little dorks have to survive, but you only need 1.
Yeah, true. Okay, Usharan. Oh, if I make it to the end of the turn.
That's right. Pick a visible enemy model within 3 inches of this unit to be the target. Both players roll off. If you win the roll off, which is a thing, I'm quite used to this mechanic because of Timber. And let me tell you what, if you win the roll off is really annoying. The number of times you're going to tie. Like, that's what's going to happen.
It's not a 4-up. You're right.
Yes. You have to win. And what's going to happen is I'm going to roll a 3, and then they're going to roll a 3, and it's going to be like, oh, I didn't win. Okay.
Oh, man. Well, we're getting there. It's back. It took 6 years, but it's kind of back. The big brother, the why are you hitting yourself? It's back now. So
it's back. That's right. The why are you hitting yourself? Yeah. But basically, yes. Then if you win the roll off, your opponent picks a visible unit in their army within 3 inches of the target. They can pick the target's own unit, and even if it's a single model unit, your opponent must resolve combat attacks to the target using melee weapons you picked against the unit they picked. Wonderful.
Chef's kiss. Yeah,
great.
It's back.
So fun, so good, so glad it's back. Couldn't be happier. We're so back, baby. Again, you have to win the roll off.
I used it. The first and last time I used it was in 2019 against a Vampire Lord and Zombie Dragon. And it turned into Mist. And that was so fun. I still remember that moment. So, yeah.
I mean, it is such a ridiculously fun ability.
True.
And I couldn't be happier that it's back. Yeah, you do have to win the roll off. And boy, I'll tell you, again, I've been there. It's that Timber. You're going to feel it. All right. At any rate,
Okay.
it's wonderful. And then the Skull Altar and the Wrath Axe and the Hex Archer Skulls and the Bleeding Icon. We'll talk about all of them when we get to the things. They all have some minor changes. Okay. Oops. Sorry. So that's the changes. Now let's get into the meat of this, shall we? The army rules, because this is where the big stuff is at. Okay. Army rules. Just making my notes to timestamp. Okay. Great. So first of all, we got to start at the beginning, which is this completely new way that Blood Tithe works. You're still tracking dead units. And by the way, 4th edition is a good edition for them to have this thing where because the unit count has increased, number of smaller MSU, number of models on the board has increased. This is all good stuff. This GHB. That's right. So that's great. Now, as a point of this, when I played my game against Khorne, so as I said, I did a Skaven against Khorne game. When I did this, we had 24 units on the board between the two of us. Okay. It's quite a bit. He got to the kill half in turn 3. Okay.
Halfway there.
Yep. Again, if it's like one-sided one way or the other, it doesn't matter. Either you're already getting blown out and it's not going to save you, or you're already blowing them out and it doesn't matter. But in a pitched game, it makes a big difference, right? This is where I'm saying they have this attrition thing that's going up. So the reason we're talking about this is Blood Drenched once per battle, any hero phase. You can use this ability if at least half the number of units on both players' army rosters combined, rounding up, have been destroyed. For example, if your roster had 9 units and your opponent's roster had 4 units, then 7 units would need to be destroyed. First of all, who's got 4 units? Bad example. Bad example. Why even mention that people would take that? Yeah, I mean, like, I guess, yeah, Sons of Badmot, I suppose, is the only example, really. Even
if
then,
you lose 2 of them, well, the game's done.
You're right.
You know?
Yeah, exactly. But what you get is a bunch of different effects. So you ignore positive modifiers to save rolls for all Blades of Khorne units. Yep, no more all-out defense. You ain't defensing anymore. You're here to kill.
Okay.
That's the downside. Upside, Blood Haze. I mean, all-out defense is so much worse now anyways. It's not actually that big a deal. I use a lot less command points on all-out defense. I think in that whole game, I spent 1 command point on all-out defense.
I think all-out attack is out of the window nowadays. More.
Yeah, I used 1 on all-out attack and 1 on all-out defense in the whole in that 5-round game. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was doing other stuff. Like I was powering through, redeploying. Like I was playing the Skaven army where you can triple redeploy. So like that's a very common maneuver I was doing every turn, right? Or like off-turn shooting, just everything else, right? Countercharge. Like that's where all my command points were going. Okay.
Right.
At any rate, Blood Haze. Blood-hungry weapons used by friendly bloodbound units have crit mortal. There we go. It's back, baby.
The mortals get mortals.
That's right. The mortals get crit mortals. So now your Skull Reapers and stuff are back to crit mortal once you tick this on. And I said, it seems like a big hill to climb, but in most games that are like fairly back and forth, it's going to actually happen. Like quite reliably, usually at like the bottom of 2, top of 3 is about the point.
And you'll be in there. You'll have dug in. So that's when you want it. Why would you need that turn 1? I guess.
Yep. And then Weapons of Murder. Add 1 to the Rend characteristic of blood-hungry weapons used by friendly Blades of Khorne, non-monster demon units, including blood-hungry companion weapons. We'll see that in an example. It's just a new keyword that their weapons have. Okay. Yeah. So the non-monster demons being the key. So your bloodletters and your blood crushers and stuff like that. And then Bloodlord Supreme, add 1 to the damage characteristic of blood-hungry weapons used by friendly Blades of Khorne monster units. So your Bloodthirsters are all getting +1 to damage. All right. So good set of buffs. It's fine. I wouldn't call it like critical, but good. Right? It's not, what I mean by that is it's not old IDK on turn 3, we all strike first across the board. Right?
True. Fair.
Okay.
The rule itself, it's nice that it happens when it happens, and you get the chance to do it yourself with the prayers, which we're going to get at some point in. So, yeah, that's a nice way to do it, I think.
Yep. Then we got to talk about how your blood tithe and spending your points work. So for every time a friendly or enemy unit's killed, you get a blood tithe point, same as always. Like, so you get the Khorne gets the refund and cares not from where the blood flows, as always. Yeah. Khorne loves the rebates. And you start out at 0 for Murderlust. As you pick up blood tithe, once per battle round, at the start of any turn, so it doesn't matter if you're going first or second, which I like. I'm glad they didn't make this start of your turn. That would have been really dumb and bad. So thank you for the good design here. You get to kick on one of these abilities. The important part to understand is you will never have more than 5 of these abilities. Right?
True. Yeah.
You will basically be able to spend your way into what you want, but you got to think about like so like you start the game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In the first turn, if they, like, let's say you hand them first turn, like, let's say your lower drops. Okay. Mm-hmm. If in the first turn, they don't kill any of your units. Okay. And then you go second, you have no things to activate. Like you have Murderlust, but that's it. Right.
Yeah. Because it's unlocked from the start. Yeah.
Right. So it's actually quite beneficial to have like some kind of sacrificial lambs out there that you kind of trick them into killing. Most players will take the bait when you get it. But the point is, if they go first and they don't kill anything, right? Or if you go first and you don't kill anything, then when it comes to the second turn of the round, you're not going to be able to spend your way in, and that will slow you down considerably on everything. Yeah. So it's very much the goal of Khorne. Like in that top of one, something needs to die.
Yeah, that's where the claws come in. They they move in the deployment phase, and then you will just move them again and maybe countercharge if you have to, something like that. If you have reached the bottom of 2 to unlock thing first time, it's kind of rough, I have to say. You have to think ahead. That's something that you have to think ahead. Right. That's again, let's say, who is this book for again? Please explain to me. Is it Timmy? Is it Johnny? It's always something somewhere in between. But yeah, I do like it. Like, there's very clear. Are you fighting wizards? You go to the left side. If not, you go to the right side. And if you're on the right side, if they have shooting, you go in the middle. Things like that. It's not like a Ubisoft game skill tree where there's like 1,000 choices. It's actually quite easy. You can remember. Like you can see where you're going with this. What are you playing against?
Yep.
It's not. Yeah, it's not like the old feats in the D&D where you had to go.
Yeah, your old 3rd edition skill tree and feat trees. Yes.
Yeah. It's quite nice. It's fine.
Yeah, you can like, for example, you could like, if something died in the top of 1, in the bottom of 1, you could activate Punish the Pacifist. You could then get to the top of 2. If you had another blood tithe point, you could activate Divine Scorn. So you could go both directions. Or you could continue going down from Punish the Pacifist into Glorious Combat or Not, or Revel in Battle, and so on and so forth, right?
One is for shooting, the other one's for getting charged.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yep. So, yes, the point is that, like, I'm saying this to say, as a Khorne player, I think that's why I think this is a Timmy book. Like, you are encouraged to start fighting from the top of 1 with this book.
Oh, yeah. Which is what you're supposed to do in this thing instead of walking around in little circles. Yeah.
Right.
I agree.
Yep. So, because if you wait till turn 2 that you activate your first blood tithe ability, you're just behind the curve, right?
Yeah, you're late. You're kind of late. Nothing died, so that means your blood drenched weapons are not getting blood drenched enough.
Right. So exactly. Khorne is displeased. You haven't killed anything. Like, so let's talk about these actual abilities, okay, and what they are. So Murderlust is always on. Like, it doesn't activate. You don't have to spend the ability to do it. It's just there. I think it is still one of the most powerful abilities they have. It's really good. Like, I watched this in action. My opponent used this every single turn, okay? And it always, like, it paid off in spades, okay? Especially because of the fun interaction it has with reroll charges, right? Like, both are a reaction to declaring a charge ability, and so it just gives you optionality to what you want to do here, right? Okay.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, that's nice.
So the effect is, so you've declared a charge, right? Which means you've rolled your 2d6. That's what part of the declare step of rolling a charge is rolling 2d6, right? So you roll the charge. You can then, depending on what you get, like let's say you roll a 5 and a 1. Yeah. You can then roll a die and you can replace one of the die in the charge roll with that value. If you do so, you inflict D3 mortal damage on the unit using that charge ability after that ability is resolved. Effectively, what this is giving you is 3d6, pick the best 2.
Yeah. 3d6, drop 1.
Right. Yeah. Now, why it's slightly better than that, okay, is because of when you get to use it. So here's what I mean with the optionality with the other thing, okay? If you have an ability that says, like let's say you just have an ability in the charge phase that says, pick a unit, it gets a 3d6 charge, pick the best 2, okay? So, like, think the Slanesh banner in Slaves to Darkness, right?
Yeah.
That's set. It is whatever it is. It happened on that unit. You have to pre-pick that unit, right? Mm-hmm. If you are with this ability, you're going to go through your charges. And when you roll a charge and you get like a 2 and a 1, that's where you're going to be like, nope, going into the reroll.
Reroll dice, yeah.
Okay, because I'm not, like, neither of these are good enough. But if you get like a 5 and a 1, you go to Murderlust, right? Because now your odds of improving are like 84%, right? Mm-hmm. Of any kind of improved charge. So because of the optionality there to go with it and the fact that it can just be on the unit you need to be on, what it meant is that my opponent was just like, even I was playing a very redeployee movie army, not like my super dancy Skaven, but like a pretty mobile army. And like I was regularly getting back to like 9-10 inches away from him, and he was still able to catch me, you know, with units, right? Not everything he wanted necessarily, but like he was able to get in.
And when you have an army that wants to charge in, you have 2 ways to kind of reroll your dice, basically. One is the reroll your dice, reroll charges, and the other one is try again. Get some damage in, but try again. And that's really good for a melee army.
And so it's pretty, like, it's right. And the D3 mortal damage doesn't really matter. Your demons can still make their ward saves against it. So all that kind of stuff. Yep. Okay. So super cool. So Murderlust still very powerful in what it does, right? I will also state, by the by, that Murderlust, since it's once per turn army reaction, you declared a charge ability. It's not locked to your turn.
No.
Right?
Actually, so the important twice during the round.
So you can do it on a counter charge as well, being the important part here. We would be remiss if we didn't mention that. Which means there's some of the, like, this army is one of the best counter charging armies in the game, and that's great.
Plus, they did remove the poison from the well because, frankly, Murderlust is synonymous with NP.
Yep, exactly. So, okay. So then let's talk about the real abilities you're going to unlock. So our first is the choice of Divine Scorn or Punish the Pacifist, right? So Divine Scorn is once per turn, start of any turn. Pick up to 3 enemy wizards or priests within 6 inches of any friendly Blades of Khorne units to be the target. Roll a dice for each target. On a 3-up, subtract 1 from the target's power level to a minimum of 0 until the start of the next turn. To a minimum of 0 is very strong. Obviously, what this means is that if your units are getting up and close to their wizards, it just shuts off their magic most of the time.
It's really good. Actually, I'm thinking of my Soulblight army. Like, I have 2 wizard, 1 casters, and that's it.
Right.
Now they're not. So,
a lot of people rely on these, like, sort of 1-cast wizards. Like, there's plenty of army builds that are just like a couple of 1-cast wizards. And
it's not in the hero phase, it's start of the turn. So you can actually use it during your opponent's turn, which says, well, no more spells. All your wizard 1 casters are now wizard 0.
Yep. Yeah. The other side of it is Punish the Pacifist. This is your combat phase. Roll a die on a 1 to 2. Everybody on the board takes immortal damage, including your units. On a 3-up, only every enemy unit takes immortal damage. Remember what was that old annoying spell? Who did it? Was it like Stormcast who had it? Or somebody, did Soulblight have it? Soulblight had it, right? That stupid annoying spell that was like 1 mortal to every enemy unit. Right?
File Transference, the old one, though. Maybe. I'm not sure. But
somebody had this spell. I do not remember who it was. I'm sorry. It's been like 2 Battletomes ago. And it was so annoying in the time it took to resolve. When we played, my opponent chose into this because I'm playing like a Dancy Skaven army. So, of course, he took this, right? Because, like, I only had 2 casters and one of them was a double caster. And honestly, there were plenty of turns where I just didn't cast anything. Like, I would just, you know, Like, I wasn't, Skaven magic sucks, so it's whatever. You have Skitter Leap, and like occasionally you throw out the D3 mortal wound thing or whatever, or you try to make somebody strike last, but it's pretty minimal. At any rate, he chose this one because he knew like the vast majority of my units were trying to stay out of combat. Now, we misplayed it. We played it as every combat phase, and let me tell you what, that was real impactful. Things were just bleeding. Because I mean, it was our first play with the game. We were reading quickly. Like, we obviously didn't have all the stuff. At any rate, this one's fun. It is just constant chip damage on everything. It's, over the course of the game, it will basically chip down and weaken heroes. It has some fun interactions with other things. Like, there's an ability to blow up the manifestation and kill wizards who are around it. There are a lot of manifestations that like to hang out near wizards. And the combination of Punish the Pacifist plus this will make that's how my Grey Seer exploded. So, sadly. So at any rate, but it's really annoying tracking because like I had a ward save across my army. He has ward saves because he's playing demons. So we'd be like, he rolled the 1 and he's like, okay, we all take the wound, and then we're all just rolling through like, didn't save, marking every unit, right? But at any rate, it's still
just get into combat basically.
Yes,
forcing your opponent play. You're playing the opponent. You're not playing the game.
That's right. Okay, so they're both fine. Neither of them are like crazy, but I think Divine Scorn will often be more valuable. But like, again, it's army dependent. I like that you can go into it. All right. Then you've got your level 2 stuff, which is basically actually sneakily includes the level 3 one as well, the 3 Blood Tithe as well, because they're all in the same item.
Level,
yep. The important part to understand is that Glorious Combat or not can be gotten into from either of the level 1 ones. But the other two, Murder the Mystic comes from Divine Scorn, Revel in Battle comes from Punish the Pacifist. So this is just like understanding your tree. Okay. Murder the Mystic, you can only unlock this ability if you have unlocked Divine Scorn, blah, blah, blah. Pick up to 4 enemy manifestations to be the target. Make a banishment roll of 2d6 for each target. If the banishment roll equals or exceeds the banishment value listed on that manifestation Warscroll, inflict D3 mortal damage on each enemy unit within 3 inches of it, and then it is banished and removed from play. This is what got done to me. This is what killed my Grey Seer. It was very annoying to lose my Grey Seer off turn in his hero phase, but it happened because he had been taking some chip damage from the Punish the Pacifist, because obviously the Grey Seer ain't fighting. And then he got blown up by the Bell of Doom that was near him, sadly.
Expectedly, but yeah.
Sure. It is a nice ability. What I like about this one, again, this is going to be like very matchup specific. There are some armies that spam out a bunch of endless spells. This is super valuable to just like clear the freaking board. Right?
Yeah. I don't disagree. Like, this book hates manifestations. Like,
yes,
there's so many ways.
Which is, I agree. Me too, book.
I hear you. The thing is, you kind of want manis around so you can charge them a little bit. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But you
I'll rely on their bad faction terrain to do that.
I mean, yeah, that's true. That's true. I do. It does say you choose the manis, so you can leave the one that's close
up to 4. If
charge.
there's one you're going to charge, you just don't pick that one.
And there is no range. Just choose 4 of them.
Anywhere.
That's it.
Yes.
Great. Always nice.
It lets you get those backfield annoying ones that the people are using to like buff their casters, and then also punish them. So like, think the Cruel Boys have their little thingy that they use, and so on and so forth, right? Okay. Glorious Combat or not is subtract 1 from hit rolls for shooting attacks that target friendly Blades of Khorne units. Very straightforward. Just a penalty to shooting. It's great.
Unlike the shooting, apparently. Yep.
So again, very often will have a lot of value. It's all these are matchup dependent, but like, that's fine. Like, you're not forced into any of these. You're just going to choose the ones that are appropriate for that matchup, and you generally have good options. Then finally, Revel in Battle, which, by the way, the difference here between having 2 Blood Tithe at like in turn 2 when you're picking this one, hopefully you didn't get delayed, so hopefully you're in turn 2 and picking this. The difference between needing 2 Blood Tithe and 3 Blood Tithe is like completely irrelevant. Like, if you're playing Khorne, worst case at the bottom of 2 or something, you've definitely 3 units have died. Like, things have happened. Okay.
You hear people all the time saying, tabled at the end of 2 and tabled at the end of 3. You should have the Blood.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't think it's gonna be that big of a deal.
I will say my opponent was able to turn on Revel in Battle on turn 2, no issue, we had easily reached the blood tithe points. Effectively, you're going to need 4 points total. Like 4 units need to have died to do that, right? Because you had to spend 1 to get into the probably like punish the pacifist, and then 3 to activate this. So it really depends on like sort of turn order and how things are activating. You're again, you just need to think about your turn order. But my opponent was able to get this. Again, we had a pretty bloody game. Like we killed each other down at the end of the game in turn 5. I had 3 units, and that was because I had recalled 1, and he had 1 unit. Right.
Right.
So it without my ability to recall a unit, it would have been 2 units left to 1 unit left.
Right. May I ask there, what happens with replacement units? Does that change blunder-rich weapons? Like you need to kill 5 units, 5 units died, and then 1 came back, 1 got better. What happens there? I don't think so.
It doesn't matter because it's only killing a number of units equal to half that was on the army roster. They were very specific. So you have still destroyed the unit.
Right. Okay.
Because you're recalling a new unit. So at any rate, yes, if you can unlock Revel in Battle in 2, it's obviously really strong. You won't always be able to. 4 units is not an impossible hill, but I do think it speaks to value of stuff like the Claws of Karnak, like Blood Reavers, stuff like that, like focusing on bringing down enemy chaff and scouts and things like that, and making sure they get wiped out quickly. Like that kind of stuff should be high priority to get those blood tithe points, right?
Right.
Yeah. And then finally, your Slaughter Triumphant or Cleave Wide the Grin of Khorne. Both of these, just to remind ourselves, if you're in Glorious Combat or not, again, same thing, you can access either of them. Otherwise, Revel in Battle is Cleave Wide, and Murder the Mystic is Slaughter Triumphant. So, Slaughter Triumphant is add 1 to the attacks characteristic of weapons by friendly Blades of Khorne units that charged. So, +1 attack when you charge. Yes, Khorne got tabled against Skaven, homie. That's right. We roll hard over here. Okay.
It's in your book.
He didn't get tabled. He had 1 unit left. So there you go. And Cleave Wide the Grin of Khorne has had 1 to hit rolls for your attacks. Both very strong. You're now talking about basically you need 7 or 8 units to have died. Again, we did not find this a challenge to get to. In our game, to be clear, when we started turn 5, so at the end of 4, right? At the end of 4, 20 units had died.
Okay.
That's
a lot of blood tithe.
Yeah.
Let me check the math here. Yep.
Right.
It's a lot of blood tithe.
Right. So that was what had happened at the bottom of 4 in our game we played. At the top of 5, 1 more of his units died, and then so on. And that was basically where the game ended.
Right.
So, like, again, the unit count is just higher now. And so there's a lot of other small units, little heroes running around, stuff like this. We were both playing Intercept and Recover, so we were both being pretty aggressive with going after the gold guys, trying to get the enemy gold, stuff like that. So, a lot of movement, a lot of teleportation. He had the Claws of Karnak and he had Claws of Karnak, but he also had Karnak himself and the Flesh Hounds. He had Skull Taker. So there's like a lot of complicated teleporting and crazy movement that was happening and stuff like that. Obviously I'm like 3 stepping ahead and skitter leaping and stuff like that. So, okay. All right. Cool. Let's talk battle formations. So, all right. Khornate Legion. The Butchers of Nations. Once per turn, army reaction, you declared a fight ability for a Blades of Khorne demon unit. I actually don't like this one for the demons, but this is the one I like a lot less. But anyway, you get to pick a friendly Bloodbound unit that does not use a fight ability this turn, is wholly within 12, and you can chain activate. It's perfectly good.
Right.
It's the mixed force one. It's fine.
Which you probably will have. Khorne just get both sides, I think.
Sure.
Vampires, we are bringing skeletons to vampires or something. Khorne works. Right.
Then you've got the Drawn to the Carnage, add X. I love that we're getting variables now, by the way. This is like the second book where we've seen X being used. Add X to charge rolls for friendly Blades of Khorne units, where X is the number of friendly Blades of Khorne cavalry or monster units that have already charged this phase and are wholly within 12 of the unit being rolled for. Okay.
Yeah.
So effectively, if you chain charge, like the first one gets nothing, the second one gets +1, the third one gets +2, the fourth one gets +3, and then so on and so on down the line. You have to really like carefully orchestrate this little ballet to make it all chain off in a big way, but
I'm telling you, you bring 8 Korgoraths, which for some reason got the monster keyword, and they start piling in to the point you get like a +8 to your charge
sure.
for the things behind them,
Sure.
which I think is useless, ridiculous, and extremely hilarious. So yeah,
it is funny.
Yeah.
Then you've got the Bloodbound Warhorde. This is just your classic Bloodbound one. Add 1 to hit rolls for combat attacks made by friendly Bloodbound units that target an enemy unit that is contesting an objective you do not control. Fine. Good combination with Blood Warriors, obviously, who are also then getting a 5-up ward. It just makes them very, very scary, very easily able to pick up objectives. So it's fine. And then the one I love. And now we get to the one I love. Murder Host. Each friendly Blades of Khorne demon unit that used a fight ability this turn and is not in combat can move d6 inches. It cannot end that move.
Yep. Kill something, move on.
Yep.
So
you get a free redeploy at the end of turn, push on to an objective, get your models on, increase your count, your objective control, reposition. Like, this is so good. The consolidation or like overrun in 40k was always a very potent and powerful ability, and what it lets you do, this is effectively a version of that. It's fantastic. It's really good.
Agreed. Yeah. Now Murder Host would be my choice as well. No discussion about it. Not that I have to choose one of these when I play this book, but anyway.
Right. Yeah, we're not actually choosing any of these, as we'll discuss later. Okay, heroic traits. You've got Magical Scorn, -1 to chant and cast while you're within 12 inches of the person with it. Okay, fine.
Next one's a good one.
Yeah. Pick a friendly Blades of Khorne infantry or cavalry unit within this unit's combat range that is not in combat to be the target. The target can move d6 inches, but cannot end that move in combat. If the target ends that move within this unit's combat range, inflict an amount of mortal damage on the target equal to the roll. Okay. That's fine.
Well, if you roll a 1, basically get a mortal wound because you never moved outside of the 3-inch.
Right.
Or something like that. Just annoying stuff. Anyway.
This is so good. This ability is so good.
Really good.
Again, now you have an extra move in your movement phase for free d6 inches. You've potentially got an end of turn free d6 inches. Like, you've just got, your army can get moving here, which is nice.
This is Lash of the Sire, which has 20 points in Soul Blight. Only that one's on a 2-up. This just happens, and maybe you deal some damage, which you probably will not if you play this correctly.
Yeah, realistically, your guy is just like at the 3-inch edge mark, and he just
that's where they should stay. Otherwise, you're getting damage, and I'm judging you as well. But yeah, this is probably getting 20 points at some point in the future. Probably, I don't
know. And then the Skull Collector, end of any turn. If you kill an enemy hero, you get +1 attacks, and it's cumulative
multiple times, which is fine.
It's fine. I don't know how that, like, super valuable, I guess, weirdly against some armies, since we're seeing more hero spam go around. The Exalted Hero Slaves to Darkness list is like,
yeah, that's true.
That Bloodthirster is going to have a lot of attacks, or whatever it happens to be. Skull Taker, not Skull Taker, but like, because he's unique. But, you know, somebody's coming in hot. That's the point. Okay.
Oh boy, you know what? Going back to the Taskmaster now. It's in your movement phase, which means you get to move things before you get to use it.
Correct.
So there's no way you're getting damage. You're just moving d6. So
yes, it's so good.
Move.
Yes, you can bring people into position to use it perfectly. That's the point. Like, it's so good.
Yep. And you can just use it on the Bloodstoker, which says you're going to run and charge. Now move d6 as well.
Right.
And then go move. If you haven't moved, you haven't come closer to me to do this. And then run, and then charge. So why are you still here? So,
like, that's what I'm saying.
It's really good.
I think, like, some part of Timmy to me has always been speed. Okay.
Oh,
like Timmy, it's both. There's certainly a spike overlap here. Movement has always defined.
And there's a Johnny, because I call Johnny movement shenanigans. That's what I call it.
Yep.
And that's what the game has gone to.
It has such a wonderful way to just like for me, when I'm Timmy, I want to be fighting, right? I want to get my units into combat. And so, like, all these different movement abilities that let me get there are great, right? That's what it does it for me. So,
Right.
but you're right. You can like everybody can play at this angle. So I like when they explore this kind of stuff. Okay, your artifacts of power. Your collar lets you unbind as though your wizard won and hurt them if you successfully unbind. The Butcher's Blade is an end of turn target or end of turn trigger. Sorry. Pick each enemy unit that had any damage points allocated to it this turn by this unit's combat attacks. Roll a d3. You do some extra mortal damage. Okay, fine.
Yeah. Let's go the good one.
And then Argath, the King of Blades, ward rolls cannot be made for enemy heroes while they're in combat with this unit. Only enemy heroes. My honest answer is I don't love any of their artifacts.
Sure.
They're fine.
Sure. They are fine.
Okay.
Yeah, we said that the Slaughter Priest deals D3 mortals to one of your things. So if you have 2 priests and this thing, you can actually kill one of your things turn 1. If you want to actually blow something up with 5 wounds, anything really, D3, 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 dead, blood tired, let's go.
Sure.
If there's some reason for you to do it.
Yeah, I think you're generally better off just easily killing out an enemy scout unit or something. Like it's generally doable, but yes, you can sacrifice your own guys if you need to.
You're in a pinch. It's turn 2 and you don't have blood type yet, and time's ticking, something like that. Right. Doesn't matter. It's there
it can be there as a good backup plan. Frankly, you don't have to do it, and it can be something you. There you go. Okay, your prayer lore. You've got all on a 4 universally. Your unlimited prayer is friendly unit wholly within 12. To the start of your next turn, the effects of the blood drenched ability, see battle traits, apply to the target. In addition to the chanting rolls 8+, ignore the effect of the wild-eyed brutality, so they can still gain bonuses. This basically is a way to turn on your
crit mortals.
Yeah, your crit mortals.
It says on a 4-up crit mortals.
Right.
That's basically what it says.
Or get +1 to damage on your big monster.
Sure. I mean, yeah.
Blood Boil is you pick a enemy within 18 inches, roll a number of dice equal to the number of models in the unit. So very different than original old. Remember Blood Boil back in the day when it's just a simple D6 mortal damage? What a great effect.
That's exactly how I know it. It wasn't even visible. You didn't have to see it. Blood Boil.
That's right.
It's how you hear the scream. You're like, got him.
Got him. This is just a horde thinner that also has a kick of on the big cast of giving them -1 to wound, which is a good penalty. So it's like making them -1 to wound is quite good. And then final act of violence gives you a reflective 5-up mortal wound kick on a 5, like where you get your
murder roll.
What's that? Yeah, it was your old murder roll. Exactly. Yeah. It's just giving you your old murder roll back.
Okay. The thing I like about Blood Boil is that it's no longer just a horde thing. You can actually pick something that you wanted to have -1 to wound, and now it has -1 to wound.
Yeah, if you've got the prayer points socked away. My poor opponent, 2 turns in a row, was just like, I'll pray 1. Okay. And then all lost all his prayer points and then prayed the next turn. He was like, then he would succeed, and then he didn't get enough. Like he'd bank some prayer points and then he rolled a 1 again, and I'm just like, oh man, this poor guy. Khorne's favor was not with him in that regard.
New book. Who dis?
Yeah. And then your manifestation lore. The important part is they're all in a 4. We'll talk about the manifestations later. They're all in a 4. The bleeding icon is 18 inches. The other 2 are 12. That's the things we need to remember later.
Yeah.
And I like the bleeding icon a lot. I think it's actually really good.
It's really good. Yeah. Well, I need to ask, can we remove it somehow as Khorne players? Can we actually remove the thing so we can drop it again somewhere else? Is that something you can actually do? Because it's really good.
Well, the Murder of the Mystic is enemy manifestations, right? And you can't banish your own stuff. So
you cannot banish your own stuff. Oh man.
Right.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Still pretty good.
All right, let's get into the actual Warscrolls. Now, again, I'm not going to cover every Warscroll. If we don't cover it, it's either had extremely minimal changes, or like I said, we covered those earlier, or it's the same as the index. So, but we'll get there.
Yeah,
we're going to talk about a lot of stuff. Okay, so the Walk Bloodthirster, I did want to cover him. So you could, just because it's a good example of seeing like the blood hungry in action. So again, this is a new unique weapon ability. Again, this is the kind of stuff they introduce later in the edition when they start realizing what they can do, that I'm like, where was this earlier?
Do more.
Right. You didn't immediately, when you thought of having these generic weapon abilities, go, well, who else needs weapon abilities? And like just started using this everywhere.
Yeah.
So that's fine. The
Blood Hungry.
Yep. So this guy, he's got his little shooty shoots, he's got his little axe and flail. He's obviously a very scary guy, damage 4 or 5 after he kicks off. So pretty great.
6 attacks of those.
Yep. And he's great against enemy heroes for sure. Going to 2s
They're
and
gone.
2s.
6 attacks on 2s and 2s, rend 3, damage
Yep.
4 or 5. Yeah, they're missed. Obviously.
Yes. I think he's quite valuable for cleaning up stuff like that. And then his once per turn army, the commander of tyrants, pick another visible, friendly, non-unique Blades of Khorne demon unit to beat the target. Add 1 to the attacks characteristic of the target's melee weapons for the rest of the battle. The reason this is so good is, what's the range on that?
Not found.
All right. Did I say for the rest of the battle? I meant for the rest of the turn. I might have said battle. Yeah. I apologize if I did. It's only for the rest of the turn.
Demons. The letter of the day is all of them. All the blood letters.
That's right. Yeah. Being able to be like, and the lack of range on this is what makes it so good. The fact that he can be over here dealing with whatever, and then like across the board, there's some blood letters down here about to get into a fight. And he's just like, hey, over there.
Yep.
+1 attack. Like, woof. Choppy. Very choppy. This guy, by the way, did go up slightly in points. He's 410. So there you go.
Yeah. We will see about the points. I'm not sure if those points are exactly correct. Otherwise, that AOR for the Demon Lords are like 1,600 points or something like that, which is weird.
Yeah, we'll it might need some posts. Just like with the Soul Blight one, it might need some adjustments. That could happen. Yeah. Like
maybe one of them is 390 or 380.
Sure.
That would work. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway. So that's walk. I mean, yeah, the other two, as far as I know, are 410 and
They're
420.
Pretty much similar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very similar costed. Yeah. We'll see.
So it does make the all bloodthirster thing kind of weirdly unplayable right now. So
yeah.
Yeah, I think that they'll need some adjustment. I really just think they didn't think about it when they did the points. It came after it. Like they wrote the rules and then they made the points at the end and didn't realize that it didn't work anymore. And they'll have to figure out how to square that circle, just like with the vampire Soul Blight one.
Right.
So where you were always stuck at like 1810 or something,
1810. That was the one.
Yep. All right, Skull Taker. I love this guy so very much. 7 health, 4 up save, 5 up ward. He's got the Slayer Sword, anti-hero +1 rend. He's blood hungry. He's 2s and 3s, rend 2, rend 3 against hero, damage 2. And he can, if he's in combat with a hero and directs all of his attacks against that hero, he just gets strike first in any combat phase. Amazing. He can heal himself back up to full, right, by killing heroes, which is awesome. Again, heal X. Good. And most importantly, once per battle army. It's only once per battle, but it's still so very good. End of the enemy turn, he can just teleport himself over to be in combat directly with some hero as long as he doesn't get himself into combat with any other enemy units, which is very hard to avoid. He doesn't need to, it's not like a charge. He has to end within half an inch, right? If your heroes aren't like basically bubble wrapped by your unit, they can't just be like if this is the unit and the hero is just standing here, he's in. He's just like boop right up behind because he can just be at like 2.8 away from the hero, more than 3 away from them, right?
Yep.
This guy rules.
Like Praetor says it here. Praetor Dragoon says this book shows that foot heroes can actually be quite useful, quite good.
Yep.
Here's how. Interesting things. Make them do interesting things.
Yep. This guy made me bubble wrap all my little Skaven heroes. They were constantly surrounded to where there was like they constantly had a U shape of other things around them. Does that make sense? So that there was no way that little dork could get at them, except for my Vermin Lord. Like he eventually gave up and went after my Vermin Lord, and managed to do some damage, but it did not work out in the end for him.
The one thing that hero needs to have fought, which makes it a bit more easier to avoid. Because if they that hero has to have fought. If they did, he's coming in.
Sure.
Which
my fear with keeping them bubble wrapped was still I was worried about because it's the end of the enemy turn, right?
Yep.
So my fear was like he would be able to get in there in some way and like catch me with a counter charge or something like that, right? Just like hold me up in some way.
At some point with what he's doing, and suddenly he's on the top corner for some reason or something like that. Yeah.
Right.
It's movement.
Yep.
Movement shenanigans.
And then the Bloodstoker. The nice part about, or Bloodmaster, sorry, I apologize, not Bloodstoker. Bloodmaster, too many similar words. The cool part about him is obviously he's like perfectly fine. These guys always punch above their weight in combat ridiculously. Although now that he's crit 2 hits instead of crit mortals, that's better. He doesn't get the crit mortals like the other guys get.
With Rend 2, who cares really?
Sure.
Frankly, crit 2 hits with Rend 2 is sometimes better than crit mortals.
And he will go to crit 3, or he will go to Rend 3 when the ability turns on. But at any rate, the nice part about him is his chain activation does give the bloodletters +1 to hit. And it's just more damage. Yes, they're crit mortal. That's where a lot of your damage comes from. But also, you don't ever want to get pushed to 4s with them because it meaningfully diminishes their damage, right? So
he gives it to himself as well, which is great.
Yep.
So it's both. So that's nice.
Yep.
And he's a priest. Great.
And he's a priest. Exactly. So the Blood Master, he's like 120, and like Skull Taker is like also 120. So it's fine.
Wow. That can't be right for Skull Taker. So cheap. So great.
He's great.
Love it. Yep.
Yeah, nice. I just think he's really good. So
for sure, both of them.
Yeah, like Skull Taker, obviously the reason they're the same price is because Skull Taker has a slightly better ward, better abilities, but isn't a priest. Bloodmaster is unique, by the way. But like the Bloodmaster obviously can be given and souped up if you wanted to, and is a priest, but has a really useful ability. Again, the key with this guy is just like using him smartly because he is fragile. I mean, 6 health, 4 up, 6 up. He will die if he gets into combat with anything significant, but he's strong.
And Blood Tithe.
Yep. And Blood Tithe. That's right. And then good old Bloodletters. 2 health still, 5 up save, 6 up ward. They got that Hellblade, still has crit mortal. 2 attacks, 3s and 3s, Rend 1, damage 1. They will go to Rend 2 when they get when the Blood Drench thing turns on. So that's cool. And they have Ceaseless Violence, which is one of the best abilities written in this book. If this unit is in combat, it can move 3 inches. It can pass through the combat ranges of enemy units and must end that move in combat. This is so crazy good. The number of tricks you can pull with this are endless.
It doesn't say it needs to stay in the same combat.
Correct.
Right. You can just pivot.
Yep.
To something else.
That's right.
Caring if.
And then when you pile in, that's when you pile in after this, that's when it's checking of like, who am I in combat with? Because a pile in, you can't leave combat. This you can. So like you can charge whoever you had, pile away from them, get out of their combat range, and then be free to go even farther because now you're not anchored by that initial unit anymore, right?
Beautiful. Yep.
It's so good.
Good old Khorne 6-inch pile in.
Yeah.
Still lives on somehow.
It's back, baby. Bloodletters are, what do these guys cost? 10 for 170. They're 170,
which they used to be 200 because they did bring D3 back. I don't think you'd mind with the change. I'm sold.
Yep. These guys are just Tokyo Drift. Very, very effective. My opponent, as I said, was running a demon force. So he used a bunch of bloodletters. Very effective. The thing that you don't have anymore is regeneration. You have no respawn, right?
True.
So you got to think about that. When things are gone, they're gone, right? Not only you're not regenning the unit, but you're not respawning the unit either. So neither.
At some point, they turn into 2 wounds, and that made so much difference. Such difference at 2 wounds each. Did you hear that, Demonettes? All right. Blood Crushers? I don't wanna.
Yeah, no, it's
low.
Yeah. Daemonettes are still, it's like, I don't know what to talk about. That's, effectively the only base demon with 1 health still. That's just bad.
Yeah.
At any rate. Okay. Blood Crushers. Up to a 10-inch move, 4 up, 6 up. Their attacks are fine. They still have the crit mortal on top. They're 3 attacks base, 3s, 1/1. I will state, by the way, that either these guys or the Bloodletters are excellent targets for the Walk Bloodthirster that I mentioned previously. Like, it's perfectly good for either of these. Crushing Onslaught, though, if the unmodified charge roll for this unit is an 8+, much like, which normally I don't love 8+ rules, but I actually like it a lot more in this army where you have access to Murderlust, right?
True.
Your chances of nailing that are a lot higher. For the rest of the phase, this unit can pass through models in enemy units, and enemy cavalry units passed through by this unit in this phase cannot make pile-in moves for the rest of the turn.
Very good.
Very good. It's just very good.
Yeah.
Yep. I think these guys have some play. The key with Blood Crushers, I disagree, Peppo. Yeah, this is a different war scroll. I think they're pretty interesting. So these guys are 150 for 3. Okay. Which I find pretty appealing at 150. I don't think I find them appealing in a 6-pack. I find them pretty appealing in little packs of 3. That's my read on them.
And they're fast, and that health 5 means they can do the power through on other cavalry.
Yes.
Which 5 health is really good. Really good. You can
they have the good objective control. They're counting a 6.
Yeah.
Yep, they're 5 health now. They're like, they show up with 6 objective control. They can power through very easily. They have a lot of movement shenanigans. Like, there's so much movement shenanigans coming out of this guy, right? They're charging over enemy units. They're stopping enemy cav from piling in. They're Tokyo drifting at the end of combat if they kill something, right? Yeah. Doing if you're in that battle formation, getting an extra D6 inches there. There's just like a lot of movement shenanigans coming out of these guys. Okay.
Yeah.
That's why I like him. That's why I like him in 3 packs.
7, in fact, because they do have the.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, sorry. Control 7. Yeah, I forgot. Yes.
Really good.
They got their banner. Yes. So, like, I think Blood Crushers are maybe for the first time ever. I'm looking at them and going, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I like them. Okay. Skull Cannon, whatever. It's damage 2 now with its burning skulls. Who cares? All right, great. Oops, sorry. Karnak and the Flesh Hounds. We talked about these guys in the change log. They're so good. They're so good. Like, the thing to mention here is, while this unit's wholly within 12 inches of a friendly Flesh Hounds unit, add 2 to charge rolls for this unit. In addition, while any friendly Flesh Hounds units are wholly within 12 inches of this unit, they can ignore the effect of the beast ability. Okay, great, good, A+. So Karnak gets a big bonus to charge. And then he has Stalk the Prey. In basically every movement phase, your movement phase, I should say, sorry. In each of your movement phase, you get to pick an enemy hero to be the quarry. Okay? And you can pick a hero in reserve, which is very funny. You remove, and then in also in your movement phase, you then Stalk the Prey. Remove the targets from the battlefield and set them up again on the battlefield more than 6 inches from the unit's quarry and more than 9 inches from all enemy units. This was the other reason, by the way, my heroes were all bubble wrapped, because he did have these guys as well. I didn't want to get stalked by some dogs. Okay. I wanted to keep him at 9 inches where he'd be crazy, because he just wouldn't get in with enough to threaten them.
Yeah.
But like, the important part here is you don't have to actually end up near your quarry. You can be anywhere.
Nope. You just teleport. That's it.
It's just a teleport. Karnak is so amazing. I love this little dork. Gareth is here. What's up, Gareth? Karnak has been an auto take for years. I agree. He remains so. This dude is lit. Karnak rules. Him and a unit teleporting around the board, being effectively 7 control, right? If he's just taking a unit of 5 with him. Just teleporting anywhere they want, every of your movement phases.
Exactly. It's not once per battle. It feels like a once per battle. It's not. It's every movement phase. Every single movement phase. Do you want to do that or not? I want to ask, he's a beast. Karnak is a beast. So doesn't that make his control score 1 for some?
No, they have to have the actual passive beast rule. You can be a beast and not have the actual rule.
Okay. All right. Are we? Yeah. All right. So that's a thing. Okay, good to know. It's not like the keyword doesn't do it.
Correct.
This is not fair enough.
So that's Flesh Hounds are 100 points for 5, and Karnak is 110.
Yeah.
That is a very worthwhile 210 points in my estimation being spent. Okay.
Yeah.
To just like have the optionality of teleporting around the board, threatening their little tiny heroes that you're going to just tear them apart, like Bolton or whatever his name was in like the Game of Thrones where he got killed by his own dogs, right? Um, Ramsay Bolton.
Flesh hounds,
Yeah.
doubling the chance of miscast for no
Yes.
reason. Nobody,
More
absolutely
than doubling.
nobody.
Statistically, it's way more than doubling.
Actually,
Okay.
yeah, it has to be quadruple, right? It's not
Because
it's
you
one,
normally have a 1 in
one,
36
2, 1.
chance, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now it's 1-1 miscasts, 1-2 miscasts, and 2-2 miscasts, right? So there are now 4 results on the die that miscast. Okay. So you went from 1 out of 36 to 4 out of 36.
That's insane. It's 1 out of 8 now.
Okay.
Or 1 out of 9. 8.5. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really good. It's really good. It's Fleshhounds doing it. It's not Karanak. Karanak is just the best boy.
Yes.
And they make Claws of Karanak crit mortals on 5s, which can be a nasty surprise if you let those guys live and bring 8 mortal wounds just like that for no reason.
Karnak and his dogs rule just every game all the time. First 210 points is going into just like him and a pack of dogs. Like, let's go.
Khorne loves dogs.
Khorne loves dogs.
Truth. Actually, feel insulted that your dogs have not made an appearance in the Khorne episode.
Yeah, they're upstairs. They're locked away right now. So
they would be way too into it. So
my wife thinks of them as like she has her shirt has them as Soul Blight dogs instead of Khorne dogs.
All dogs are good.
There you go.
Moving on.
All right, let's get into the mortal side. We've got the new original recipe Deathbringer. No more aspiring, no more exalted. We've all just gotten together into regular. We've picked the middle bowl of porridge of Deathbringing. Yeah. I like this model, by the way. It's a good looking model.
It has grown. I've gotten used to it, and I actually do like it now.
I don't like the dumb skull backpack he has.
No, agreed.
But I like his profile from the front. Yeah. All right, so Deathbringer, he's got the Kingslayer axe, 4 attacks, 3 threes, red 1 damage. Sorry, what does that say? Damage 3.
Oh, is it 3? Okay.
That seems to be a damage 3 on that foot hero.
Go on.
Okay. So and he's got crit 2 hits, and he has blood hungry weapons, so blah blah blah. Earlier things we talked about, blood drench and so on and so forth.
Yep.
Okay. Reaction. Opponent declared a command for a unit within 8 inches of this unit. That is the only text written here, Dino.
Yep.
That seems like it. Yes.
It's Dennis Nedry. I don't know if you can see him.
I can't see it, but that's okay.
Sure yeah,
it's too bright.
I think I can do it. I'll fix it because that's the thing. Spoiler alert.
Yes.
There he is.
There it is.
Nedry. Yep.
Okay. The important part here is that right now, you can repeat this. Roll a die on a 5-up. That command has no effect. It still counts as having been used, and the command points spent to use it is still lost. I don't think that's going to stick. You want my honest opinion? I think they will FAQ that. I think they just left the text out.
Into what? FAQ into what?
Into like a once per something. Like they'll restrict.
Yeah, because the thing is, if you have 4 of these guys, all 4 of them will do it. Because reactions are not once per turn unit or once per turn army. It specifically says that you cannot use more. When you unbind a spell, it says you cannot use more than 1 reaction against the spell. It's part of the rules. Sure. If you have 4 Deathbringers, you roll 4 dice. Or if you have 8 of them or 9 of them, I don't know.
Sure.
Just
I think they'll just put on a like once per phase army or something.
They will. Do you remember the Nurgle Demon Prince? The Nurgle Demon Prince? The D3 mortal wounds when you roll a 6 or a 1 or something like that?
Right.
That changed 3 weeks in or something. I got to use that guy once in a tournament, and I still remember it. It was insane. I think this is insane as well.
Yeah, it is. And that's why I think it'll change. It's too much of an NPE weird experience. Like they're not gonna let you just toss all these dice at something. It'll get FAQ'd to 1. Like so. My point is, don't get excited about this in the AOR. If you want my money, like I would play strong money on this. Anytime you see something like this that's just so clearly bent and weird, assume it will be FAQ'd. Okay, that's the way the game works now.
At some point, it will. I agree.
Yes.
I agree.
Obscurminator, no, they are not. That's the thing. Okay. So, and then he has Killer of Kings, once per turn, army, end of any turn. Pick each enemy unit and manifestation in combat with this unit to beat the target. Roll 2d6 for each target. If the roll exceeds the target's health characteristic, one model from that unit is slain. If the target is a manifestation, it is destroyed.
This is also really good.
Yep.
This is really good. Like it lifts things all the time.
Yep.
That one is once per turn army.
That
one is one Deathbringer does it.
Yep. But he gets to hit everything he's in combat with. So if dude's still alive, there's a lot of rolls.
Here's a Stormdrake guard. 9 wounds, something like that. 8. 2d6. Oh, there's a 10. Bye. Something like that. Callous and Cole. I barely knew her.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. Yep. And then Blood Warriors, we talked about them already. I mean, 3 attacks, 4s, 3s, 1/1. This is why I talked about the +1 to hit change, like being pretty meaningful, right? Because this would have been your old friend with the Realm Gore Ritualist putting them on 3s and 3s. They go to 4s and 2s now with it. It's not like it's terrible. It's still a perfectly nice profile.
Similar to 3s and 3s.
But it's sort of a non-bow with a crit auto wound, which is unfortunate, right? So
yeah, agreed. 2 things I hate about the Blood Warriors: the 4 to hit and their stupid boots. I've always hated those boots.
The fact they didn't put armor on their feet, that they just have regular boots on.
I've been painting them for years, and I'm always annoyed when I have to go break the browns for that. Sure. Like, why are you wearing boots? What is happening here? Don't you want to kick something?
Right.
But anyway, moving on.
But I do like that while they're contesting an objective they don't control, they have a ward of 5 up. I think that tempo is very important with this army. You're going to often be trying to engage on multiple fronts, and though you do have some access to strike first, it's not like you can just you're not IDK or something, right? And so you're going to have to pick people that just don't get where you're getting attacked first by the enemy you charged into, right?
Agreed.
And they make an excellent thing to wait later in the turn. You guys can wait, you'll be fine.
Yeah, it feels like they're gotten their role perfectly in this one. Here's a 3 up, 5 up contesting your objective. Deal with it.
Exactly.
With what? 10, 20 even sometimes.
Yep. Deathbringer. So the Deathbringer wasn't it
the Deathbringer?
Yeah. I'm talking points now real quick. Deathbringer is 120 points. And he can take Bloodbound. And the Blood Warriors are 200 even for 10.
As always. Yep.
Basically, the old Chaos Warrior point cost. I did want to put Skullgrinder in here because I actually really like Skullgrinder a lot.
Great.
He's 6 health on a 3 up with no ward, but that's a relatively survivable thing as long as he's not in with their true hammer. His weapon is again frustrating. He's got this 4 up to hit, so it's 4s attacks, 4s 2s. He's a non-bow with the Realm Gore Ritualist, but I don't care. I don't think I'm taking the Ritualist as much anymore. But
or the
4s 2s. What's that?
Or the Mighty Lord of Khorne, which also gives +1 to wound.
Yeah, that's right.
He gives your end 3 and you give them +1 to wound? Come on, dude. Don't be like that.
Yeah. But again, he's he gets to pick another friendly Bloodbound hero within 8 inches of him. Pick one of the target's melee weapons, add one of the Ren characteristic for the rest of the battle. This is the deployment phase choice. I like this a lot. This is very useful. I'm just so sad it's restricted to Bloodbound heroes. I know why it is, but it would have been a whole lot cooler if it wasn't. It would have been really neat to be able to pick other demon heroes and, work on their weapons. But it's okay. It's cool for the AOR. This guy's in the AOR for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And then...
Do you like your Mighty Lords of Khorne Ren 3? Because that's what you're getting.
Right. And then finally, his other thing is Bone Crushing Strikes, which just basically lets you roll a dice. If the roll is equal to or less than the target's control score, the target has strike last, which is a really interesting and weird mechanic, being equal to or less than, right?
Basically, it says if the thing you're fighting has a control score of 5 on a 2-up, it gets strike last. So if you're hitting monsters on a 2-up, it gets strike last, which is better because it used to be if you crit it. If you hit it with a crit, something happens to it. In the previous edition or in the PDF, super weird. This I like. You go against something beefy, you bring this guy in, you make it strike last, unless you roll a 6.
Right.
Which, okay, it's a 2-up basically.
Yep, I like it that against like your heavy infantry as well, if you're trying to, it does give you a 33% chance of strike class. It's not something you'd bet the farm on, but it's like decent enough, right? So
Yeah. He's
because you just
100
gotta get
points.
roll a 2 or 1. Yeah, yeah.
100
Skull
points.
Grinder's cheap. I like him a lot. I think he's super cool. So
Yeah.
absolutely.
And he's damage 3?
Yeah, damage 3. Yep, 100
Yeah,
points.
there we go. Wow.
Exactly. Like, yeah.
Make the heroes hurt, and people will use them. That's it.
Yep. And again, for things like monsters and ogres and stuff like that, you're just making them strike last all the time, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm sure it'll get, you're right. Control score, not characteristic. Yeah, you are
yeah.
correct. I have a
nobody's.
feeling that I'm just assuming it's already FAQ'd, as Peppo said. Like, I think they meant to write control characteristic, not control
Yeah.
score. Yes.
Who even cares? Yeah.
I don't think they mean when you're attacking the unit of like 21 control infantry that you just like automatically achieve it. Like the wording of it is such that I'm pretty sure it's just going to be FAQ'd. Sorry, I should have commented on that. Yes, I agree with you, Peppo. This will be changed. Yes. And the Slaughter Priest, he still has his little thing, and he can give himself. I just put him in here so we can mention it again. You get ritual points, not blood tithe with him, and he can unbind, so it's fine.
Yeah, pretty good.
Okay, Wrathmongers, gotta talk about them. They're back, baby. We're so back. While they're in combat, they give 1 to the attacks characteristic of other melee weapons used by friendly Bloodbound units, excluding Wrathmongers, wholly within 12, so they still get the +1 attack thing. But then importantly, Blood Fury, stop hitting yourself. Yes, there's a roll-off, but stop hitting yourself. Great.
Love it. Beautiful.
I mean,
wet willies.
They are fragile as all get out. These guys are 15 health on a 5-up save. They are ready to die for Khorne, right?
And you want them in combat for some reason, because they give +1 attacks if they're in combat. It used to be whole within 8, which was stupid. Whole within 12, much better. But they need to be in combat, but they're on 5s. So, I don't know, man. I mean, there's 5 of them. 1 needs to live. So, and rallying is a thing. So, yeah, I mean, who doesn't like those guys? People who like their miniatures full, I guess, because those anvils break, those flails break all the time.
Sure.
But still, you have to love them for the "why are you hitting yourself" rule.
Yep.
That's it. Just bring them
I think
out
you guys are
and
super fun. They're 140 for 5, so it's not terrible cost-wise. I think they're okay.
Yeah. Love
Skull
them.
Reapers.
Like, oh, sorry. Skull Reapers they're the heavy infantry that we have.
Yep.
That's the one.
Your 4-up base, again, they get really scary once you get the Blood Wrench turned on, right? So like turning on the prayer with them is really good. They're a great recipient target for the prayer.
4-up.
Yeah. So like what they say is we're crit 2 hits, and on a 4-up, we're going to absolutely murder whatever we touch. That's what Skull Reapers say.
Yeah, basically. Go on.
Yep. Oh, we should say, by the way, that also, well, as we'll see with the other trick here is with a lot of these 4-ups to hit, because like the Wrathmongers are 4-ups to hit, the Skull Reapers are 4-ups to hit, the Blood Warriors are 4-ups to hit. That's like pretty common throughout the army. The other thing to think about with this is why the icon is so good is because you can get the icon out there and then roll at the +1 to hit. And so again, you've got another 4-up that'll basically put them on 3s to hit, right?
Yeah.
So
which makes the icon excellent. Really
it's just something to keep in mind when you're like thinking of these. Would I take the Skull Reapers as 5 or 10? I think if I was taking them as a hammer, I would, like, if they were my hammer, I would reinforce them and take them as a 10er. Like, that's what they're there for. They're going to be the target of the prayer. We're not messing around here.
Exactly. I always use them as 10. And with rallying being what it is, with the Bloodsecrator being able to help them there, they don't die. They're good. They're strong.
Agreed.
I loved Skull Reapers. Loved them.
Yep. Okay. Then let's get into the spells and manifestations.
Before you go there, we need to mention it. Blood Reavers. I think Blood Reavers have a capacity to be the spike thing in this book. People will run 60 of them, 60, 70, 80 of them, however many they can, because crit mortals, spamming them, doing the prayers, doing that thing, I think we will see that as well. Blood Reavers are too cheap for what they do. You do need chaff, and they get +1 attack, they get crit mortals, they die in droves, and you don't care. It's blood tithe. I think Blood Reavers have had their they were useful earlier, and you will still see them. That's what I think. But it's
Right.
gonna be a let me play the mechanics here, not the army. That's how
Yep.
I feel. I would not do it because no, it's not. I'm sure we'll see them. Spells or manis anyway.
That's right.
Sorry,
Let's get them manis going. All right. Okay, the Wrath Axe. The Wrath Axe is fine.
I'll tell you what the Rathax is. I just want to see Callus and Toll in front of me.
Sure.
That's what I want. Because I have a lot of friends who run them. I'm like, I'm bringing the Rathax with me. This is the thing. You bring it to Callus and Toll, and on 8+, one of them's gone. Just get out of here.
Sure.
So
you mentioned like dragons earlier, that kind of stuff. Like it has very valid targets.
Yeah, it's a beat stick, and you have things that come in 3s, Kurnoths or whatever. You know the game. Though that thing will pick some of them up, and that'll feel nice. So I do like the Rathax as well, which is it's a beat stick. That's what it does.
It is, and I think in some games you're just not going to bother to get it out. But it's like you're going to take this prayer lore, obviously, this manifestation lore, and like, sure, like it's nice to have in the back pocket. It's not bad.
Yeah,
right.
Agreed.
Your Hexgorger Skulls is, it's your Hexgorger Skulls. For each part of this manifestation is within 8 inches of a wizard, friendly or enemy, subtract 1 from casting rolls for the wizard. And then it has some attacks that don't matter. Cool. It's just another I hate wizards thing, right? So
yeah, they used to be the thing. They're now, their glory days are gone, but the other 2 are better.
Right.
And
then the one you're actually going to get out at the beginning of every game.
Yeah.
Which is the bleeding icon.
If only that thing could move. If only that thing could move.
It cannot move. Yeah. So it has the bleeding icon, doesn't move, which is advantageous for setup, I will say.
True.
Fair. You get to pick a friendly Blades of Khorne unit wholly within 8 inches, short range, which I do not like. Range. I would have liked it a lot better at 12, but anyways, still good. Then pick a Blood Tithe ability you have not yet unlocked. Roll a dice. If the roll equals or exceeds the Blood Tithe points of the chosen ability, until the start of your next turn, the target can use the chosen ability as if it had been unlocked. Okay. So what you're going to do here is pick this and go for the +1 attack or the +1 to hit. That's it. That's what and you have a 50-50 shot of it. It's another 4-up, right? Just like the prayer where you're turning on Blood Wrench, it's another 4-up. Like it's just one more 4-up you're getting. There's a 4-up to get this thing out, 4-up to then get this effect. You're good to go.
Yep. I agree. Really good. Really, really good.
Yeah. The problem, as you said, is yes, you have to be a little like forward thinking with it. Its placement is important because it's not walking around the board, and people are going to very easily wander out of that 8-inch tiny bubble around this thing. It's not that big as a manifestation. No. So
when does it happen? It's in your hero phase.
In your hero phase, yeah. So you can do it. You can set it up and then do it immediately.
There, and then you do the run and charge, maybe.
Sure.
Or the move and run and charge and all that jazz with Murder Last. It'll take you places because it's 18 inches. That's actually quite nice. Small. If it was bigger, it would be an issue. That's what I feel.
Sure.
Right now, it's quite good, and you do need to roll a 3-up or a 4-up or something like that. So, good.
Yep. And then the Skull Altar. The important part about the Skull Altar is basically it has an 18-inch bubble around it that says this is a manifestation no fly zone.
Free zone, yeah.
Right.
Exactly. And also it makes your Slaughter Priest have 2 ritual points before they cast their first prayer, because they will deal some damage and use the +1. So they start at 2, which is pretty good when you think everything is on a 4. And even the 8+ is doable on a 6-up. To begin with. So Skull Altar, good.
The Skull Altar is good.
It's not what it used to be because the Blood Tithe is not what it used to be.
Yep. And yeah, like to just read the ability, when you use the Hatred Sorcery, you get to basically pick D3 enemy endless spells within 18 inches and make a banishment roll against each one. If any endless spells are banished by this ability, you do gain a Blood Tithe point, which is good. So like what this effectively says is that like, I mean, I'll tell you how I meant it. Endless spells. That's funny. Yeah. That's a very funny note there, Gareth. Yes. Boy, that text is hilarious. How did that happen?
What?
That's very funny.
Insane.
I didn't catch that. What a hilarious thing
Nope,
that'll have to be
nothing
FAQ'd.
invaded. So I love it.
Yeah.
Good.
But at any rate, I'll tell you how this manifested with me. I just never put my bell never crossed within 18 inches. Like there was just a line I literally drew on the board, and my little bell was just like floating around the outside of that line. Like, nope, we do not get in. We do not cross this line. Right.
This is like the white line on the sand of the desert. That's where their arrows can reach. That's where
Yes,
their catapults can get. So
that's right.
stay away.
They hate magic. Prayers aren't magic. Oh, okay. Fair enough, I guess. Yes. Um, the points will release do with the oh, spell manifestations have the keyword endless spell. Oh, there you go. I didn't know. I didn't catch
Okay.
that. Okay.
I didn't.
Cool.
I
Then
have
it's
kids,
really
man.
meant to be just the spell manifestations. That's fun. Prayer
Love it.
manifestations have
Cool.
the keyword invocation. I didn't catch that little distinction. I don't use any armies that use prayer manifestations.
Yeah. Invocation.
I only
Nice.
use armies that use the normal ones.
Yeah.
So
Cool. Cool.
what a fun little thing. Thank you for the note. Thank you, Gareth. So at any rate, yeah, you can it's an endless spell free zone. There you go. How about that? Endless spell, no fly zone.
Yep.
Yeah, the Skull Ultra's cool. Okay. We got to talk Armies of Renown. We cannot not talk Armies of Renown. All right.
Let's do this. Finally, we're here.
The army that we're both building. Let's go. I'm looking at 3D prints right now.
Me and so many other folks around the globe.
Yep.
I
don't even want it for the they can. I think it's too good right now. This can be reined in, and I still want to play it. Okay.
Agreed. Like if I go to the tournament, like I'm going to a tournament in 3 weeks, 2 weeks. I've been painting vampires for 6 months now. They were ready, and then this thing comes in. I'm like, I mean, now I have to run this, don't I? Like,
right.
Literally.
Like I'm gonna print out. I'm gonna do a bunch of 3D prints, get a bunch of heroes, kit bash a bunch of different Khorne heroes. Like I'm gonna get all sorts of fun stuff going on. Like I want to just have fun making little individual heroes. Okay.
I forgot about it. Wait, I bought a Deathbringer like literally yesterday.
Nice.
Yeah. Wait.
You guys are talking about Bloodlords, right? Right, guys? Right? Sorry, Gareth. I think you know we're not. There he is. Yes, absolutely. Perfect.
2 axes and all that. There's a head. There's a skull. 40 mil. Got him.
Got him.
They managed to sell a Beast of Chaos figure to me.
That's right.
Post Legends. Like, this makes money. How do you make money? You make things good. That's it.
That's right. Okay, so the Gore Chosen Champions is what we're talking about. What can you take in the Gore Chosen Champions? Why? You can take 0 to 1 Mighty Lord of Khorne. If included, must be the general. Any Slaughter Priests, any Bloodsecrators, any Bloodstokers, any Realm Gore Ritualists, any Skull Grinders, any Deathbringers. You cannot include Regiments of Renown. Now, you will notice there that I just read a long list of the Khorne Bloodbound heroes, right?
Yep.
If you've looked at Gore Chosen and thought to yourself, hey, I'd like to just play this as my army. Well, congratulations.
I bought that book, that box like 5-6 years ago from a no-name store here in Greece. The Gore Chosen. I'm like, okay, here's 4 of them now.
Yep.
Let's do this.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. This is what this is all about, Thomas. Like, it's so much fun because you just have all these different weird Khorne heroes. You can kit bash all over the place. And then there are a bunch of foot melee assassins, the worst role you can have in the game, and yet they get the rules that make them interesting, right?
Yep.
So you get an extra artifact. Cool, fine. Like I said, I don't think their artifacts are really like.
You get 2 out of 3.
You get 2 out of 3. I don't think even these special ones aren't like that special, but whatever, it's cool. You get them. Bloodstokers can now whip your heroes instead of just whipping your people, which is fun.
Not themselves.
Not themselves.
Which shows intelligence, but okay.
Yeah.
But another hero. Yeah. Cool.
All your blood hungry weapons are crit mortal. So just across the board, all those things that said blood hungry were just crit mortal right now. Just from the jump. Mm-hmm. Your Gore Chosen champions all have a ward of 4 up. All the time. Okay.
Yeah. Go on.
I do, Crazy Horse. Why, Anthony, I might have had some things to ask you as soon as I find some figs. He's already printing so much stuff for me. I feel bad going to Anthony again. This man has delivered. Everybody in the chat needs to give a shout out to Anthony. right now because Anthony is the one who is keeping me safe with my teaching classes. He printed a whole bunch of models for me. He's doing even more, so I have models to teach with. He saved my life. I'm like forever in Anthony's debt. He's one of the great heroes of this community. He's one of the co-runners of NashCon, and yet he's once again has to miss the tournament because of work. And yet he'll still be there working, doing stuff in the background. The man is an absolute legend. Thank you, Anthony. You are a really great human, and a man I'm proud to call my friend. At any rate, so everybody, like, just it's great. He's a great human. At any rate, by the way, if you haven't hit like or subscribe or stuff like that yet, hey, do so. Throw some super chat at the thing, all that kind of stuff. Okay. So thank you, Crazy Horse. Thank you, Anthony. All right. And then I think the problem. Here we go. Now we come to the problem in this. Hate-fueled killers. If a friendly Gore-chosen champion's unit would be destroyed, before removing it from play, roll a die. On a 5-up, that unit is not destroyed, and any remaining damage points inflicted on it have no effect, then heal 1 that unit. This is a problem because they forgot to put in they can't do this more than once.
Yeah. It's Jason Statham in Crank, I guess.
Right.
It's the barbarian from D&D's the cockroach. Like, you go to 0, you go up to 1, and you can do it again and again and again, and it's glorious. But I don't know. Maybe you can do it D3 times. I don't know. 1 seems a bit not too much, because we're still talking about 6 wound heroes that goes to 12 wounds maybe, and on a 5-up they go back to 1 wound, and it's still a 5-up. It's not a 4-up or a 3-up. 5-up.
Sure.
I don't know. I don't know how you fix this. 6-up. It's weak. 5-up seems strong. Once a game seems weak because, again, you have 15 idiots running around.
So, yeah, I like this ability. This ability should be here. It's important that it exists. Just being like completely unlimited is a problem, right?
What if they could not heal after that? Like, try for another 5-up next time. I don't know. It's tough.
I don't know what the solution is. I'll leave that to the designers, right? I just think this is a problem.
I don't know. Yeah, I had a friend play today, and he made 7 out of those 10 rolls.
Right.
And I told him, "Are you insane? Are you playing against the TO of the tournament? Why are you doing that? Don't show him this before the tournament." And he says, "Yeah, this thing's banned now." And I actually asked him, "Did you mean that?" He's like, no, it's fine. It's not banned. But I don't think this AOR will survive. This has the date. It's like milk. This thing will age like milk. There's no way this page survives a month or 2 months from now.
Yep.
That's what I think.
Because and here's what I'm saying. Here's my statement. Okay. Like, I don't think they should get rid of this completely. I think it needs to exist. I think it should be here. But what I'm saying is, if this ability didn't exist, I would still be playing this AOR. Like, I would be like, I still want to build this. Right?
Yeah, I
like,
hear you.
Fine. Fix this in some way. I'm still in. You've got me. I'm in. Let's go. Okay.
Could be a once per turn army and on a 4-up. Something like that. I don't know.
Sure. Like,
or once per battle. I don't know. Who knows?
Think about it a different way, right?
Let's find out how it looks.
That's right. Then you got your heroic trait, which is just add 20 to this unit's control score while it's in combat. Awesome. Take that, Mega Gargant.
Yeah. I can see that happening now. Run and charge your Mighty Lord of Khorne into an objective. Here I am.
Yes.
Now this is mine.
I mean, this is my dream right here. This is just like living the dream. Every army, so many armies should have this guy. Not every army. A bunch of them shouldn't. But like many armies should have a build like this, by the by. I'm glad that like S2D got it. I think they absolutely are another one that should have a build like this. So at any rate, okay. Artifacts of power. You got 3. You can pick 2. That's what it's going to work out to. Okay, great. Your first one is once per battle, any combat phase. Pick this unit and up to D3 friendly Gore chosen champions within its unit's combat range be the target. Targets have strike first for the rest of the turn. It's cool. I hate that it's once per battle. I hate that it's on a D3. I wish it was I wish one of those things wasn't true, right? Because I hate that it's a random roll. You're going to like organize to actually get multiple units in the combat range of this one dork. Your other heroes hiding around him, and then you don't get to make them all strike first. Sucks. If it's going to be once per battle, it should be 3.
At least it's any combat phase. So when your opponent makes the mistake of A, charging you, you don't charge this army.
Right.
And B, it's their turn, so they play, and suddenly you have 3 of those guys fighting first. Whatever charged them is gone.
Right.
So another feel bad to add to the feel bads of this, potentially. I have to say.
Then you got the Scarring Blade. Any combat phase,
Oh,
inflict D3 mortal damage on this unit for the rest of the turn. Add X. Love it. Keep going. Keep doing this. Bring in Ys as well. I want to see multi-variables. Add X to the attacks characteristic of melee weapons used by friendly Gore-chosen champion units, where X is equal to the amount of mortal damage inflicted on this unit by this ability. For the rest of the battle, this unit cannot use the Hate-Fueled Killer's ability and cannot be healed. The Hate-Fueled Killers is the I come back to life and heal thing. So once they do this, amazing.
Yeah. 6 wounds, maybe, which is 6 attacks. You know what I didn't notice, and someone on the WhatsApp noticed? You can ward this. You can use ward against this one, which is really good. So first you say 3, so you get 3 attacks, and then I ward it. Oh, I got none of those. So next turn again.
Right.
That's really good.
Yep.
So yeah, you cannot heal, but okay. You put this on a Blood Secretor, you have at minimum +7 attacks on everything, because the Blood Secretor gives +1 attack once per battle.
Right.
So that thing stays in the back. It's on a 3-up in a forest somewhere.
Just obscured. A cutter back there.
Yeah, just sits there cutting himself.
Yep.
But warding it off. And so, yeah.
And then Blood Mist Skull. This unit has a ward of 3 up against damage inflicted by shootings. That's fine. Your only manifestation is the Wrath Axe, and then you do have a full Prayer Lore, which is nice. It is a different Prayer Lore. And I don't know what the name of this Prayer Lore is. Does it actually give it a name?
I'm not sure.
Gore-chosen Champion Prayer Lore, I guess. It doesn't say what the name of the lore is, because it's like a full thing.
Okay. Yeah. They got Bronze Flesh back, which used to be +1 save, but now it's -1 rend, which is very good, actually. It's unlimited, and you can do 2 of them. And we said your Slaughter Priest can get +2 to their cast, so you can start with you roll a 6, 2 of your things have -1 rend until you play again. So, pretty good.
Yep. We get
brass.
Old Blood Boil back effectively through Cowed and Broken of a sort. Basically, you roll 8 dice. Every 4 up, you get a mortal wound. If you have, if your roll is 8 or more, it's on a 3 up. So there you go.
The meteor, the skull brass meteor, the meatball, as I used to say. That's the one.
And then the Eruption of Apoplexy. What a fantastic name.
Did you practice the apoplexy to see it? Remember when we were talking about apoplectic frenzy?
Yeah, apoplectic.
Yeah,
I like
apoplectic frenzy.
Yep.
Yeah, agreed.
Inflict D6 mortal damage on the target. It's an enemy unit target. If the target's destroyed before removing the last model in that unit from play, inflict D3 mortal damage on every unit, friendly and enemy, within 6 inches of that model, or D6 mortal damage instead if the chanting roll was 8+. Okay. Cool.
I mean, you can kill something that was like at its last wounds, and then it goes around it, but it hurts your things as well. 4+ is good. You still have 6 wounds, but then your things stand up again. It's a lot of things there. There is a lot of balls in the air.
Yep.
Still, prayer lore wise, it's nice. It's good.
It's perfectly fine.
Good thing. Good thing.
The trick about this is, like, a lot of these abilities seem very strong, but keep in mind you're talking about a bunch of, like, your army is more or less constructed of 6 health, 3 and 4 up save guys, right?
Yep.
So, like, your nightmare is people who just, like, poop wounds around in an area, just like kind of just like do area splash damage constantly, because you will just like chip fail wards against a lot of them, right? And then like everybody's down, and if you fail that roll, like it's very easy to sort of lose things out. What your army loves to see is somebody who just wants to get in and have a fair fight in combat. Like all your little heroes are like, oh, we're ready for that. That's what we came for.
The ones that want to charge you, the ones that want to charge your 3 or 4 islands of 4 frothing idiots moving around. When you're ready, when you tell me how to beat this, I will tell you how to beat this. And the answer is so poetic. I love it.
Go for it.
Tell me when. Oh, should I?
Yeah, go now.
The best anti this AOR is this book. It's actual Khorne.
Yeah.
With Blood Tithe removing their crit mortals. Right. And you bring the Boom Thirster with the Argath that removes wards from heroes.
Right.
He reins them in. It's like, come on, children. Come on, you've played way too hard.
That is enough.
Suddenly, yep, exactly. Or the walk next to him with the Rend 3 against heroes. And yeah, that's how you do it. You just bring regular Khorne. Regular Khorne beats the unique cornflakes.
Yes. Yeah, anything that says ignore ward saves is terrifying to your army. Like, oh god.
Yeah, suddenly those swords and the kangaroos seem quite scary.
The kangaroos, Sigvald. He's Sigvald's making a meal out of some of these Khorne heroes. That's for sure.
Yeah,
Coming in
yeah,
hot with like 7, 8 attacks. Rend that shears their armor more or less completely off and no ward saves. Like that's some dead dudes. Hope you roll that
yeah,
5
exactly.
up.
Yeah. So yeah, that's how you do it. You bring those folks.
Yep.
I
It is
love the
appropriate,
idea
I
of
suppose, that Sigvald would have an answer, that Slaanesh would have a perfect answer to them. So
Oh, I agree. I agree. I like even Laura, like the thought of the bloodthirsters coming in and saying, "You have flown too close to the sun, my
yeah,
child.
come back. We're
Let's
coming
bring
back to
you
the
in.
Whoop, back to the brass citadel
Come
with
back to
you.
fold." Yeah.
Oh yeah, Soggy
Um,
Drycha. Yeah, Soggy Drycha is also, oh god, yeah, she's a nightmare.
Speaking of, since we talked about Scourge, the Mighty Lord of Khorne does fit the Scourge Mighty Lord of Khorne. And what does that guy do? He gives another thing run in charge once per battle,
Right.
because you can run something and then he asks them to charge, and that thing has now charged. Plus, they have the 5-up axe, the axe that reaps something off.
Yes.
And you cannot put it back, which means Alariel cannot come back, for example. It says it cannot be replaced.
Right.
So, which one do you bring? Do you bring the one that gives all of those guys +2 to wound? Because they wound on a 2-up? Or do you bring the other one who deals damage 3 instead of damage 2? The answer, I'm not quite sure. I do like everybody wounding on 2s, because it means you can actually choose between crit 2 hits or crit mortals. Because sometimes if you hit something as a 4-up or a 5-up with your rend, you don't go for the mortals. You go for 2 hits. Because
Sure. Yeah, you just
Plus two to
absolutely just want more damage. Yeah, 100%.
both Might Lords are fine, I think. I'm
Yep.
not sure which one I'm picking, but you can take whichever one you want.
Yep.
Another 5-up for this army. 5-up. Does your thing go away? Does my thing go away in a 5-up? So there's a lot of there.
Yep. And then the Baleful Lords, which doesn't really work right now because of the way the math works on Bloodthirsters. Right now, you can just fit 4 Bloodthirsters in your army, and you're at like 1,700 points. It's effective. I think it's like 1,710 or 17 something. It depends on what your mix is. But like,
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't read that one. I haven't read this one.
Yeah, it's any monster hero demon unit. Okay.
All right, so Great Unclean One.
Yes,
Kairos.
that's the really funny part. Okay, yes, good catch right away. First of all, it's funny to me that this says any monster hero demon unit. So like I can take Lords of Change and Great Unclean Ones and Vermin Lords. It doesn't restrict it to Khorne things, which is very funny. That feels like a mistake, and it will be FAQ'd.
Probably. Let's hear them out, though.
But I'm interested that in the Khorne book they introduced there used to be a thing like that, right? Wasn't there like a what were they called?
Formation or battalion? What was it?
Yeah, like a battalion that was just like all the greater demons or something back in the day, right? In AOS 2, I think. Yeah. At any rate.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I'll take 1 keeper, 1 great unclean one bloodthirster, 1 vermin lord, and 1 Lord of Change. There we go. That's my army.
Weirdly enough, those points might actually work to 2,000 points.
I think they would actually would. I think I could make it work depending on which ones you picked. Yeah. At any rate, so then your battle traits. So like, I think without points adjustments, this army is just kind of a non-starter. To be down like 300 points and like 4 bloodthirsters isn't an army that's going to get you anywhere. But whatever. Once per turn, your movement phase, pick a friendly Baleful Lords unit that has been destroyed to be the target. Roll a number of dice equal to the. This is so bad. Roll a number of dice equal to the number of units, friendly and enemy, that have been destroyed this battle. If the roll contains 8 or more results of 4-up, stop reading.
Yeah. I can't.
This is bad. Like, this is super bad. Okay. If the enemy has 12 units and you have 4 bloodthirsters, okay, everything on the board needs to have died. Literally everything. Before this becomes statistically likely to, like, in the median, to happen.
Yeah. This is so silly.
This math doesn't math. I don't know who thought of this rule, but you didn't do the calculation of what this meant. You didn't think this one through. Nice try.
No. Try again.
Okay. How about a different rule that was just once per battle, you get a Bloodthirster back? What if it was just that? No roll, it just happens. Start of your turn or your movement phase, whatever, that timing. Bloodthirster pops back.
Yeah.
Great.
Get back up. Look at the mortals. Look how they do it.
It's not hard. Like, we could have simplified this. Okay.
Yeah.
So, at any rate, then you've got once per turn army, any combat phase, Bellow of Hatred, pick a friendly Baleful Lords unit that has not used a rampage to use this to be the target. For the rest of the turn, enemy units cannot use commands while they're in combat with the target. The target cannot use rampage abilities for the rest of the turns. Fine. Okay, cool. Shuts off enemy rampages and commands. It's acceptable.
That's fine.
You whenever you get targeted by spells, the first time I should say, or whatever, or react, like obviously by that guy, because you can't use the same reaction multiple times. You can't. The one model can't. If he's targeted by the spell, you can make a roll. On a 3-up, it's unbound. If the spell is unbound and the Magic Eater roll is 5-up, then you also hurt them slightly. That's fine. Once per turn army, end of the enemy turn, you heal D3 each friendly Baleful Lord's hero that's in combat. Okay. If it was just an end of turn ability, I would like it a lot better. Like it was both turns.
Frankly, we're talking monsters. Why heal D3? Just heal 3. You have 16 wounds.
If it's going to be only the end of the enemy turn, it should have been heal 3. If it was going to be D3, then it needed to be both turns.
Yeah.
Okay. Like I would have accepted either other build. They made the wrong choice in both ways. And then finally, end of your turn, drawn by blood, pick a friendly Baleful Lords unit that has not used a rampage ability to use this ability. Unit can move D6 inches. It can end that move in combat, but only with units it was in combat with at the start of the phase. Boo. If that unit destroyed enemies this turn, then instead it can move 2d6 inches, and it can move end this move in combat with enemy units that had any damage points allocated to them this turn. Still boo.
Okay. I mean, your Thirsters do have some ranged attacks, but fine. It's overcome. Do you see they write AORs and it feels like a roulette? Where is it going to fall?
100%.
It's gonna be everything I read is nice. And here, everything I read feels complicated. I just want to run. This is for a guy or a gal, or a non-binary pal, who wants to run their Thirsters. That's it.
Right. Yep.
I just want to run my big monsters. Why are you giving me all this?
This should have been like the most Timmiest thing they wrote in the book, right? Yeah. Just like big booms, big move, extra damage, some extra attacks, that kind of thing, right? That's what this should have been. All of this is nonsense. Yeah. It is funny that this and the Champions one are in the same book. Yeah, Prater said, how can this and the other one be in the same book? I don't know. Yeah. Your battle traits continued. The Price of Mercy. You must use once per turn, end of your turn. You must use this ability. Pick each friendly Baleful Lords unit that did not charge or use a fight ability. You hurt yourself because you're not in combat. So, okay, great. Thanks for that. Why?
Okay. But we also
need
heal. Does it say they only heal if they're in combat? Is that what it says?
Yeah, they heal in combat. If they're out of combat, they get hurt. It's literally like, if you're out of combat, you get hurt. If you're in combat, well, this one's the end of your turn. The other one's the end of enemy turn, but still.
Yeah. Excuse me for just starting the game. Excuse me for playing turn 1.
Right. And then at the end of turn, if you're standing around a bunch of manifestations that are very close to you, you can kill them.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Your heroic trait is a once per battle thing, which it should not be. It should just be your combat phase. It should just be your combat phase instead of any combat phase, and it should just be a +1 attack. So again, you missed. And the artifact is enemy units within 12 inches of the unit cannot be healed and cannot have slain models returned to them, which is like the one thing that was in here that I was like, yes, correct. That is what this army needs. Like it has to work against people who are going to constantly regenerate.
Put it in the real book. Put it in the actual book.
Yeah. So, and there you go. That's the book. What do you think overall?
I mean, I'm back in Khorne, aren't I? So
yeah,
the AOR is super interesting. It's something completely different. I'm gonna talk about the actual book now, not the AOR. Going through it together, or seeing how it looks, seeing how it might play. There's quite a few tricks in there. I think they wrote a pretty interesting book. I'm not gonna talk about the PDF because I did not run Khorne at all last year. I've only played against them, and they always felt strong playing against. I know that a few people are feeling bad because the book turned. It went someplace different. So I hear people saying, "Oh, we're nerfed," and I hear people saying, "This is so strong now." I think that because it's a army that a lot of people own, people will use it and they will find ways to win with it. I am not looking forward to people getting sad, getting bitter or getting negative because of the AOR. I feel that you play against it once, you will lose hard, and then you will know how to play against it, but it will still feel bad sometimes.
Sure.
And Baleful Lords, I'm not even going to touch. But overall, if this is where they're going with the books, like we're moving away from the PDFs and the GHB, the new one feels like a completely different game, I am very happy. The one thing, I have to mention it, it's been 10 years. Where's Korgus Cole? He is in a white dwarf magazine in Legends. What's
How did we not get
there?
new Korgus Cole with this? It's so insane. We got to wait a whole
It's a
edition for now.
letdown. Building up him being demonified, getting up the apotheosis, and they say, "Oh, he's a legend. Just run a demon prince for him now." What happened there? I don't know what happened. Such a sad thing.
I assume there's going to be a narrative event at the end of this edition that introduces him. I just
Maybe.
can't imagine it being anything else.
Should have been big Korgus versus Vandus. Just make print money. It's the 10-year anniversary this year. Did you forget or something? I don't know. But apart from that thing, apart from the salt, because blood and salt, I am actually quite happy. I think it's going to play a lot. New beginner players will play it and they will enjoy it. Veterans will play it and they will also enjoy it. The fact that the changes there, the PDF, it's a PDF. It was always going to be a bookmark or like
Right.
a... Overall, I think it's good.
Yep.
I really like it. Yeah.
I agree. So overall, I think there's both interesting builds here on the demon and mortal side. And the general army, I'm more interested in the demon side. With the AOR, obviously, I'm more interested in the mortal side. I think it plays a lot more Timmy-like overall. So like, I think this book has really good potential. And I completely agree with you. If this is the way we're going with books, then I'm thumbs up. Right?
Sign in.
So, very good. Yeah. All right, everybody. Well, hey, thanks. I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks to everybody who commented. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Don't forget to support the show. Lots of ways you can do so. There are links down there. You can buy all your hobby supplies through everything for painting up your new Khorne hero army. And that doesn't cost you anything extra. Usually saves you money and really does help out the channel. Don't forget about our other podcasts in the Vince Cinematic Universe. So, the new episode of Fireball the Gazebo is out now for you RPG enthusiasts. And then, of course, we've got new episodes coming every other week of Snarlcast, my indie war game podcast. Stay tuned for next week. We got a real good one coming, real big one coming for Snarlcast. Next week, I'll tease it. We're going to talk all about Trench Crusade. So we're getting into the big Trench Crusade stuff. So check out both those podcasts. Give us a sub. Give us a watch. We really do appreciate it. If you need more Vince, more distraction in your life. And then also, of course, there's, Patreon and the merch store and all of that kind of thing. We really do appreciate all the support. Dino, thank you very much, brother. Appreciate you hanging out.
Anytime, friend. You want me in the summer vacation or in the colds of Sweden, I will heed the call. I want to say hi to Jermaine. I'll tell you later. Everyone, thanks so much for listening. Blood for the Blood God. And Skull for a Skull Throne.
That's right. That's right. That's what we're here for. Thank you very much, everybody. As always, don't forget it'll be a weird early show next week. I don't know when, but we'll do KO. It'll be an early show. So there you go. As always, we'll see you next Wednesday.